It's Sunday, everybody.
Crashed.
Just blue screens. Just a complete blue screen. Hello, everybody. Welcome to High Rollers D&D.
Hi.
We're back. It is me, your Dungeon Master Mark Sherlock Humes.
Hi.
Hi. Joining us this week, we have our usual crew. We've got Ree, we've got Trot, we've got Kim.
Ew.
And on the other side, we've got Tom and we've got Katie.
Hi.
And we don't say it enough, but in the ether beyond, we've got Sam. He's there.
He is.
He's present. Thank you, Sam.
Here.
Thank you
Omnipresent
for
Sam.
listening to our absolute rubbish talk before the game.
Before we started the game, lots of admin. Speaking of, not much to go through this week.
No.
Just a little reminder of our upcoming live show is 1 month away.
1 month.
It is the 17th of September, which, yes, is pretty much just about a month away now.
Yeah, it is.
We have our live show at the Adelphi Theatre in London.
Wow.
If you haven't picked up your tickets yet, they are going quickly. So make sure you grab it, because we suspect that now in this last 30-day, the tickets are going to ramp up in terms of sales. So make sure you grab it if you haven't grabbed one. If you want to bring some friends along, if you want to convince your mates or your parents or your co-workers or your prison officer, your dog,
Entire postcode.
your postcode
Lottery.
Why not? Buy 5 tickets and just post them.
Yeah.
And see what happens. Make some friends and do that. But now is the time to do it. 17th of September at Adelphi Theatre.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you can. All the links are in the chat right now, or they're in the video description, or you can go to our website, and it's all linked lovely from there as well. Whilst you're on our website, you can pick yourself up some lovely merch. Chris Trott's modelling it today. We got a lovely new Clever Toad
I
t-shirt.
haven't watched this since I got it.
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
He mined it for me.
Yeah.
You can't buy, now, unless you pay a lot of money, you can't buy that specific shirt, the one that's not been
I've
washed
got
for
a
a long
separate
time.
store for that.
Yeah. But you can buy your own fresh, clean, packaged Clever Toad shirt, along with lots of other High Rollers merch on our merch store. Again, all linked in the chat or in the video description.
That's right.
Or on the website.
That's right.
Hey, we don't always do this one, but if you like listening to us on the podcast, why not give that a 5-star review?
Yeah,
It'll
why
make Tommy's day.
That does make me happy. I read them all.
He reads them all, every single one.
Yep,
You do.
just like the Bristol Homelander. That's what you called me last time.
It is, yeah.
Oh.
Listen, that's some things they'll just live forever.
Yeah,
and that's one of them.
Yeah, I do like milk. Anyway.
Lovely. What a lovely, charming start to the episode. But what else? I think that was it for this week. I didn't have any additional notes. Have I forgotten anything? Does anybody want to shout anything out?
We did the Cosmere RPG.
Oh, yeah! It was a banger!
We had a great time with that. There is a stream available. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the live tab. If you're watching on Twitch and you are subbed, it's in there as well. And there is also a 45-minute bonus members and supporters exclusive video of us just praising the game and having a great time talking about Brandon Sanderson. So you've got that to look forward to as well if you haven't watched that yet.
I had entirely forgotten we did that hour-long chat after the game. My brain had forgotten that existed.
It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, check that out. It's a really, really fun stream, a really fun system, and we were all in costumes.
You know what? We're not being sponsored right now, but it's a damn good, and you should go check out the Kickstarter, because it's a damn good game.
It is a damn good game.
It's a damn good game. We love the Cosmere. I love Bandy Sandy, Bando Sando. What else do they call him? I came up with a bunch of names for him. I came up with a bunch of names for old Bandy Sandy, but it's on there. Bran the Sandman.
I like that one.
You can go and check it out. We love his stuff.
Yeah.
Cosmere RPG. The Sandman cometh, yeah. But yeah, go check that out. It's a really cool game. Very cool system as well.
Yeah,
if you're a big
really
fan
cool.
of 5e D&D, or if you've watched any of the Edge of the Empire Star Wars stuff, or perhaps you've watched the new Crockermen RPG over on Hat Films members videos.
It's not out yet.
It's a very similar system. Damn it! I thought that was out. Fuck.
Soon.
Coming soon, I guess.
There's your Hat Films announcement, exclusive to High Rollers.
I'm sorry, Troy. I genuinely thought you'd started airing those already.
He's a big fan.
I'm a big fan.
I will say, though, fuck, my brain went.
Yeah?
No, it's nothing to do with
Do you want me to
Crocodile.
take
Brandon Sanderson. I did watch a little clip with Brandon and the CEO of Brotherwise.
Yeah. Oh, I'd watch that as well.
Talking about the system and how awesome it is. They're big fans of the Star Wars Genesis system. So you can
Very
see
good.
why.
You can see
Which is
why.
also what the Crockermans run on. So.
Wow. I will say,
Hold my hands up on that one.
like, it's really clear with Brotherwise, like, it is a labor of love. There is so much love in their adventure and in the system that they've written.
Yeah.
Like, it is
They want to
one of
get it
those-
right.
Yeah, it's really, really.
There's canonical lore in it
Yeah.
that isn't in the books because of Brandon.
There is, yeah.
There's a brandy.
Not sponsored, by the way. This
Really?
segment,
This is
but
genuine
the stream,
love,
The stream
like,
was, and you
yeah.
can go check it out. We had a really really fun time with it, and it's a great system, a great game.
Yeah.
All costumed up.
And I do have to admit, I did make some canon lore
I made one as well.
incorrect, things.
It's gonna happen.
But it
though.
happened.
It happens.
It had
in
been
the
a long
movie.
time since I
Yeah.
read Way of Kings, and I'd forgotten a few things. But
Yeah, I
hey,
borfed it too.
They had a term
We
for
borfed it, bro. We
borfed it.
Table lore as well.
Yeah.
There's like a different lore for it where
they
things
say
are
that, like,
canonical,
yeah.
and then you got systems which just fit the game, mechanics which aren't canon, and then you got table lore, which is where we
Yeah,
sit.
That's where
That's
we
where we are.
sit.
That's where we are.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, little ramble on that. But yeah, go check that out. I'd
Yep.
forgotten that was a thing. Life's been a lot. It comes at you fast.
Pretty full.
Life is a highway,
Life
and I'm
is
going to
a
ride it
highway.
all night long.
Yeah. I'd say life is a roller coaster.
Yeah, life is a roller coaster. Wait,
What else is
Roller
life?
Coaster Tycoon and someone deleted all the track.
Yeah.
life is roller coaster tycoon.
With that, thank you very much. We'll run the intro and we'll get to starting on today's High Rollers D&D episodes. Thanks.
See ya. In a bit.
Welcome back to Altheya, the Dragon Empire. During the Festival of the Forge, a holy day dedicated to Saint Misara, our heroes took part in a nightly tournament, making new friends and earning glory. As things draw to a close, some of the party indulge themselves in the festival's offerings, but as the final day draws to a close, the party attend a grand ball at the Ducal Palace, the Dominus Ignarum. During the ball, the party meet with old friends and encounter new ones, but as everyone else is enjoying themselves, a lonely Xanthias is pulled aside by his draconic majesty, Lord Obsidius, son of the draconic Duke Ignarius, and is interrogated about the strange powers he displayed during the tournament. Obsidius reveals he knows about the crown steel embedded in Xanthias' chest and discloses more information about its properties and consequences of its use. Whilst Obsidius offers aid to Xanthias, it is not entirely without hostility, after certain suggested threats from Xanthias spark the Black and Red Dragon's ire. With that conversation ended, Xanthias rejoins the party as the Duke himself arrives, and his considerate asks the heroes to find some time to speak with him about other matters. And that is where we pick things back up today.
God, I really borfed it, guys. Oh,
Is that in character?
that's fully borfed. Hey, guys, real quick, borf nation over here.
What does borf mean?
I don't know.
Borfed it.
I borfed. I borfed all over this entire party. Full borf.
Man.
Also, there was just the small matter of Gruff becoming a knight errant. Like
That was also, that's very true. I forgot to put that in my recap.
Just, you know,
that was a very good point.
God, you've really borfed
I
this
borfed
one.
it.
Everyone's
I
borfing.
borfed it. I do apologise, Kim. That is me totally blanking because I've been very distracted this week. You are quite correct as well. Yeah, you Gruff got the test assigned by Sir Nora Kell of the Circle of Loyal Hounds. And has been given the title of Knight Errant.
Woo! Yeah.
So,
Orphan there.
Yes.
the
Good graph.
exact
Didn't
nature of the test is rather open to a certain degree, but it is up to Gruff to now decide how to proceed. Being a Knight Errant does not necessarily give you any authority.
Superpowers.
Yeah, it does not give you any major authority necessarily quite yet, but it is generally a well-respected position amongst the people of the Dragon Empire. So just simply introducing yourself as Knight Errant Gruff or Gruffith is enough to certainly earn respect.
I have a title.
You have a title now.
Yeah.
Oh, your introduction is going to be so long now.
Oh, God.
My name is Knight Errant Gruff
Gruffith.
from a little village of Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's still pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could make
Work-
it longer.
Could
Work
do.
on it. Work
I
on
mean,
it.
yeah.
Need to
You'll get more
rid-
titles.
Yeah, it's because I keep wanting to go, hello, my name is Gruff. And then it's like, where do I shove the Knight Errant?
Knight Errant Gruff.
Knight
And
Errant
eventually,
Gruff.
Slayer of Worlds, Puncher
Slayer
of
of
Gods.
Or you could say, my name is Gruff. I'm a knight errant, and I come from a little village.
Beach.
Like the added bitch on the end there. To set the scene, the Duke
Buffy.
has just arrived. The Duke having entered with his entourage, with his son and daughter, Lord Obsidius and Lady Emberissa aside him. The crowd, having witnessed the event of Gruff becoming Knight Errant, the Duke now re-entering. The Ducal Palace, the Dominus Ignarum, you are in the main chamber, the sort of audience chamber of the palace. All of the decorations have been pushed aside. A large buffet, like rounded buffet table has been laid out. There is an area for dancing. There is a band with several musicians who are playing. And you can see that the large glass dome above the Dominus Ignarum, which can be opened for the dragons to come and go in their draconic forms, lets in the clear... it was raining, but now cleared. The clouds have kind of parted, and you can see the twinkling of stars, and we can also see the large broken moon of the crown itself kind of lingering over Ilmera, as it always is. Very rarely moves out of position. It very slowly passes over the world, but for now it has been very prominent over the Dragon Empire. Behind it, we see the smaller shadowed moon of Melir as well. Almost like a black circle, almost obscuring light rather than reflecting it like a silvery moon.
So there is a long period of time in which it's just not over Ilmera, it's, say, over Osseous or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it passes over, but it tends to be very, very long periods. It moves very, very slowly.
Okay.
So generally it's for like, a good long time, the crown will be over Ilmera.
So is it like people's entire lifetimes this has been here, or?
Not quite that long, no.
Okay.
It is. It tends to be sort of like several years at a time, and then for several
right.
years it'll disappear, and then several years it comes back.
Damn.
And it's generally seen as it is something of a portent of troubled times. So generally, when the crown is present, it is seen as it's more likely that there will be trouble. It's sort of a bit of a badge of misfortune. Less so in other countries. In Osseous, the crown doesn't mean anywhere close to that. It is in Osseous, the crown is where the battle took place, and that is why it is broken. But it's not seen as particularly ominous. It's not regarded as a prison or anything like that. It is seen as a
battleground.
a triumph, like a battleground where the Grey Father won and banished the evil that was present, basically.
Cool.
But yeah, the Dominus Ignarum is still full of knights and knight errants and visitors and guests of Ashen Rest. The place is very busy. I believe that whilst Xanthius was being interrogated, and Gruffith you were having that conversation with Sir Nora Kell about the tenants and things like that that you were related to. Rowan was running around trying to find a bathroom, which he has now found and is much, much relieved.
Huge character moment there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't mention that in the recap.
I didn't mention that in the recap. Sorry,
Very.
I've forgotten so many things.
Knight errant,
Yeah.
Rowan entering his bowels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Level playing.
Level of importance, yeah.
I also
Title be?
yeah. What the title of
Shitter of
bowel?
pants.
Yeah.
Foul emptier.
Bowel empty. Yeah. Bowel toilet destroyer. Bowl destroyer.
Yeah, there is a smashed up.
Yeah. Anyway, to also follow on, we had so with Daisy. I think that Daisy had just been eating her way
Eater
through
of snacks.
the palace.
Eater of snacks.
The eater of snacks. And also,
Title?
Ophelia had been in conversation with Mistress Ilana Vidante, the armorer of some renown within Ashen Rest, and the Dante name being known across the Empire. And you had been sort of enjoying some light conversation. Is there anything the two of you, whilst all of the others were off doing exciting or silly things, that you would like to have been getting on with?
Silly ones.
I was not silly, nor exciting.
I think Ophelia would just be flirting.
Okay,
Like
just outright.
outright just flirting with Ilana Vidante. Showing off her sword, presenting it to her.
Okay.
I heard that you were curious about this relic that I had.
Yeah, she will sort of look over it. Having you being allowed to carry an address sword, she also has like a slender, more of a short blade at her side, more of a dress piece than it is an actual weapon for self-defense. But she will take it. And Ilana Vidante is this, gorgeous sort of tan skin cauldron woman, hair shorter on the sides but kept long and then beautifully braided around the top. And she examines it with curiosity of an artiste. This is examining it, fully taking in the scabbard, fully taking in the detailing of the basket hilt that Veracity has, looking at the gems, and almost like testing its balance almost. Oh, this is a beautifully made blade. I must say that I'm quite impressed. Who was it that made this piece?
Well, that's the thing, I don't know.
Truly? Mm-hmm. It's a relic that you recovered from somewhere, or a gift,
From the
a family
afterlife.
heirloom? From the afterlife. What? You must forgive me. I perhaps have misheard you,
sorry,
my good lady. What do you mean, the afterlife?
So, long story short, I was slain by a horrible demon, and I was brought back to my gods. I was brought back to the Grey Lands, which is the province of the Grey Father, who I worship. And as I was wandering the wastes endlessly for I don't know how long, days, months, I don't know, I came across this sword from a lovely merchant. And when I found my way back, the sword came with me.
Can you make a persuasion check, please?
You need to work on your flirting.
19.
19. We should do Crucible in a second as well. She is enraptured by this. She starts asking you questions. Your God, you mentioned this, the Greyfall. What is that? What do you mean? That is not one of the scions?
Oh no, I'm from Osseous, and in Osseous we have the Grey Father as our god.
See, and you do not believe that your soul is bound here. You go to another place.
Yes.
And you said you found this sword in your afterlife.
Yes.
And then your God brought you back.
Yes.
And
And that's important.
Yeah, then she's totally taken in by this. She's just like, well, you must be a woman indeed. And I'm assuming that this is not some tall tale that you are telling to impress me,
Oh
of
no, my
course.
friends will back up my story, I'm sure.
Well, this is a beautiful piece, and obviously being from some place that I have no way of knowing. This afterlife, is it beyond the stars? Is it the plains? What is it?
I don't know how I got there. It was magical. It was like 1 minute I was there and the next minute I was in the Grey Lands. I was just whisked away, like on some chariot.
Absolutely. You are a curious woman, Sister Ophelia. Very interesting.
So are you. You are a fabulous craftswoman.
Oh, thank you.
I admire your work greatly. I mean, the armor you made for Gruffith, well, for Knight-errant Gruffith now, is spectacular.
Yes. I am very pleased to see that it has not gone to waste, or it was not misplaced in Knight-errant Gruffith's hands. Yes. I do, unfortunately, have to reclaim it. It is not something that I can give as a gift, but I'm very pleased with the work. Not my finest, but not my worst, I would say. But Yes.
Yes, we very much appreciate the crafts and...
Oh, good. Then you have
do.
found a good home here in Caldra, as we also appreciate the beautiful things.
Yes.
And she kind of like smiles and kind of like there's definitely a flirtation back there as well. But that continues on. Like you absolutely have her attention. A lot of suitors and a lot of knights are definitely trying to get Mistress Vidante's attention throughout the night, but hard to take it away from you. Definitely seems to be intrigued by your story as well, especially like the idea of it is so outlandish. Like you almost get the belief that she doesn't quite believe you, but she almost wants to, and sort of is maybe beginning to believe that maybe parts of it are true. But there's this idea of like the things you're saying are so beyond what she's been taught. And she doesn't seem to be a particularly devout woman necessarily. So she's willing to kind of let some things, like she's not as worried about talk of other gods and things like that as much. But this is almost unbelievable to her. But examining the sword, she definitely seems to believe it.
I think if there's like a natural end to the conversation, I think Ophelia would then go up to like the buffet table and take like 2 glasses of champagne or wine and present one to Gruffith. Just like a little congratulations for Gruffith. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, eventually there would be a point where, the flirting, maybe a bit of dancing and things like that. It continues, but this is not the place for anything more overt than that. It's kind of very casual and sort of, oh well, I have to go and do business now, and blah blah blah. And perhaps we can speak again another time. Perhaps we can discuss this over dinner or something. Perhaps, and there's definitely a kind of lead in there if you wanted to follow up on it. But yeah, you make your way over to Gruff, who is finishing up that kind of conversation with Sir Norakel. Is there anything that you, after the kind of event has taken place and everyone's looking at you, Gruff, is there anything that you wanted to ask Sir Norakel or go and speak with anybody else here at the party about?
I don't think so, to be honest. I think he would kind of like, if he could glow, he would be glowing. But I think he kind of almost doesn't know what to do with himself because it's so overwhelming that he's finally achieved like this first major milestone. And I think when Ophelia comes over, he takes the champagne, but very awkwardly because he doesn't know how to hold champagne.
This is the pinky up is delicate. Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Yes.
This is really quite awkward.
It's okay. You'll get used to it, I'm sure.
Okay.
Knight errant Gruff.
Oh.
To you. I knew you'd do it. I had absolute faith that you would do it.
Sister Ophelia of the House of Blood. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Oh, yakida.
Oh, wow.
I'm speechless. I'm honestly speechless. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're here. And did you see that?
It was amazing.
I was on my knees. She touched my shoulders, and everyone was looking. And
there was a tear. It was beautiful.
I was trying to hold it inside as well.
You looked very regal, very noble.
Oh, thank you. And I must say, and I'll say this to the others as well, I couldn't have done this without you all.
Oh, I could think of no one better.
In your letter that you wrote me, I know it's a character reference, but I did read all of it, and I had it in mind during the fight, and your words really bolstered me.
Oh,
it really meant a lot, Sister Ophelia.
Oh, well, I'm glad. I'm glad it helped you in some way.
As you're having this quite lovely, polite conversation, it is somewhat interrupted as several of the knights and knight-errants all come up to congratulate Gruff. Some of the more bold ones not waiting for you to finish your conversation, but probably Sir Javar and Sir Morning and Sir Glory, who you've met previously. Everybody's kind of, oh, congratulations, knight-errant, congratulations. Come up and offer you these kind of accolades and things like that as everything is progressing through the evening. So Griold waits patiently. He does wait until there is a more opportune moment, and then we'll kind of step in. And you probably see him sort of across the way a little bit beforehand, whilst like everyone's coming up to shake your hand, and that thing where everybody wants to come up. It's like being at a wedding and everyone wants to talk to the bride and groom, and they're like, oh, we want to talk to like family and stuff. But across the way, you just see him sort of raise a glass of wine. He raises it in your sort of name, and then later on he comes and finds you. Well, I did think I had no doubts that you would get here eventually, but I'm glad to see that a proper audience was present. I'm glad that Sir Norakel was the one who was able to be here to provide you with the opportunity.
I must say, you know, the thing about the Order of the Loyal Hands is nobody really knows anything about them. So I had no idea. I had no image in my head of what this moment would be like. And I didn't think it would happen in front of everybody. I didn't think it would be in a royal audience. I'm honestly gobsmacked. And Dame Norakel was everything I hoped.
Well, I think that it is perhaps a sign of destiny, as what I know, the Circle of Loyal Hounds, they're not grand, they're not... they don't seek glory in the same way that a lot of knights do. This is very much... they are more subtle, they are often more homely, but I think it is more of a comment on you and the situations you find yourself in that this situation has come about. I don't think it's anything to do with the Circle of Loyal Hounds, but actually a reflection on you, Knight Errant Griffith, and the friends that you've made and the endeavours that you've accomplished, and well, perhaps the destiny that awaits you as well. Scions and Saints certainly are following your path.
Oh, aye. It's a big word, isn't it, destiny? I just hope I live up to everybody's expectations.
I think as a knight, if I may, you'll never live up to everyone's expectations. But being a knight isn't about that. Being a knight is about living up to your expectations of yourself. As long as you can do that in your heart and you know that you've done everything you can to live up to that knife, I think that's enough. A little different when you're a knight of the realm. I have my draconic lords and ladies to meet their expectations. And perhaps the knights of the church have to meet their gods and goddesses' expectations. But as a knight of a knightly order, I think you know what that order represents. And if you live up to their expectations, to your expectations, that'll be enough.
How long is it since your first quest, your first task?
Oh, long, long ago now. I think that I was a young dwarf when I began. I was barely out of my home, barely reached adulthood when I left, and I came to Duke Ignarius and I requested my test. And it took me 2 years to accomplish, but I did not have allies and companions by my side. But I've been a knight errant now for 30, 40 years.
Wow.
Well, I live a little bit longer, thanks to my dwarven blood, but I'm getting on a bit in my age, and I won't be as capable as I am now for too much longer. So eventually, things will, the metal will begin to take over, and I won't be as good as I am now. So.
Have you ever thought of settling? I mean, have you settled now? Do you have a wife, a husband, children?
I never have. I've never been one for romance. A lot of people build up the romance and intimacy of knighthood. It's quite a romantic thing, you know, and there's stories of Sir Isabel and her charge and things like that. But no, I find I'm quite keen on friends and I feel affection and love for people, but I've never been attracted to anybody. I've never been interested in anybody in that way, I must say. My home is here. My home is with my Duke, whom I love as a brother and as a father almost. No, my home is here in Ash and Rest, and North Vale in particular. But no, never considered really settling. It's not for me. I'd rather die in battle gloriously as a knight should, rather than old and in my bed. That's where I belong, I think.
Well, if you ever want to make a last charge, let me know and I'll be there by your side.
No, your journey's just beginning. Far too early for you to be thinking about glorious charges at the end. Far more for you to do, I think. But I'm sure we'll fight alongside, side by side once more.
I look forward to it.
And to you as well, Knight Errant.
Knight Errant!
Kind of gives you a nod. Yeah, Daisy, what's been Daisy up to?
What's been Daisy?
What's been Daisy?
Not much. I feel like she's probably been, having some snacks, but I think she would also be sort of using the opportunity to be in the presence of everyone, to just sort of wander around and try and listen to people's conversations a little bit.
Okay.
and just sort of.
Is there anything you're trying to listen out for, or are you just trying to pick up on little bits and pieces?
Just, I think, little bits and pieces. I think she's just more curious because this is quite a large amount of people that are here.
A large amount of very influential people as well. Yeah.
So I think she's gonna
give me a perception check. Let's see what you can pick up on. I'll do a scaling test on this, so the higher the better. And
13.
13. You don't pick up on much because it's quite a lot of conversation. It's happening in a big echoey space, so it's quite hard to, like, unless you get real close, it's hard to pick out on details. But you do overhear one small thing. Probably as the Duke, Emberissa, and Obsidius arrive, and everyone starts talking about the Duke and the dragons, because they inevitably become the sort of center of attention and the focus of attention when they're there. You would overhear... Who would it be talking about this? It would be, I would say, it would actually be a couple of the guild masters from here in Ashen Rest. You haven't seen them before, but you recognize the symbol on their like outfit, on their buckles and on their belt. She's a female dwarf who seems to be like the guild master for the Stonemasons Guild. And she's talking to a few other guild masters, including some of the one from the House of Making that you did encounter when you went up there with the little things that you crafted. And you overhear a little conversation of just like, oh, yes, did you see Dame Cassandra has returned? Yes, she just arrived. She's been gone for some time, hasn't she? I heard that she was important business for the Duke, investigating matters around Caldra and things like that. It's a shame that she wasn't here for the battle against the Lamplighters. She's quite her and Sir Griald are supposed to be quite good fighters. I think we would have been much better off if she had been here. And then the last thing that you pick up on is, what about Sir Eldrac Ignis? He's not been seen in nearly a fortnight. Well, I heard that Lady Emberissa sent him off, and then that's where like you kind of have to move on, like as people shuffle around you and things like that.
Eldrac Ignis.
Eldrac Ignis, yeah, Sir Eldrac Ignis. Ignis. Come up with a new recipe.
My sweet boys.
But yeah, so you kind of pick up on a little bit of like rumor, almost maybe, or like a little bit of information.
Okay.
But yeah, unfortunately, with only a 13, that's all you're able to glean.
We need to do Crucible.
Yes, you do. Yes, thank you for reminding me.
Would anyone like a D6 then?
Nope.
No?
Ew!
Do you
I
want
would
this?
love a
Do you
D6,
want this
please,
D6?
Tom.
Hey, I made it myself. Here you go.
Did you actually?
I didn't actually make it myself.
It's not a cube.
Oh, that is awful.
It's not a cubular D6. However, I think it is extremely even. I think every face is even. It is just massively warped.
Oh, I don't like it.
It's completely
like it.
skewed.
It feels wrong.
No, you don't like it?
It feels cursed.
You could try it if you want.
I'll give it a go.
I think it's
Well,
even.
drop one in.
I think it's
There we
even.
go.
Hang on, real quick before you take it though. There you go. There's an actual D6.
For reference.
Gross. Oh, what a cute boy.
Well, you can roll that, Chris Trott.
Yeah, I wonder what
Everyone else,
skewed
D6,
towards.
please.
A one.
A regular D6. Yeah, good idea. That'd be stupid.
A
if I rolled
one.
That piece of
A
shit.
dice for me.
Nice.
What is that? Is that right?
Mine did
Six.
it.
A dice for you.
5.
A dice for you.
3.
A dice for me.
I've got 6 on this bad boy.
Oh,
Hell
6.
yeah.
That's what we love to see, a dice for you. And I already rolled it. I rolled a 4. So that's a nice dice for you.
Nice.
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
Me letting the team down this time.
Yeah.
No, somebody else redid as well. Don't worry. You're not on your own.
No, you can have that back.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Lovely.
I'll prize that one. I like that one.
But yeah, you at this point, we can say that Xanthias and Rowan sort of regather with everybody. You guys maybe all gather around Gruff. Like as everyone is coming up and congratulating Gruff, you can see that Ophelia and Gruff are sort of in conversation. And yeah, you can see that the party is now turned to that point where the hosts have arrived and everybody's trying to like get moments of their attention.
Oh, I
and,
thought
like,
Ignarius did the Well,
No. This is the
About that
point where,
time.
Yeah, no. Everyone is trying to get their attention. Music has quietened down again to a more sort of like mingling, chatting sort of volume. And yeah, you guys are gathered once more.
Did I not spot Xanthias at the end of?
Yeah, you were coming back. You basically were the one who found him in the little library.
You
and
told me
then
about all the lore about how dragons don't shit; they fuel their fire with it.
Yeah.
And then said I was drunk.
Yeah, I picked you up.
Tried to take me back into the party.
Then
yeah.
we gathered.
Did you see Gruff being knighted, or were you being?
I think I might have come in like right towards the end of that.
Okay.
It was there was a period of time. I was there for a while, getting levitated and shit. I borfed it. I think if there's a period of time in which, like, when Gruff is
Gruff's looking around for Xanthias.
It's not here.
sorry, bud, I'm being
really
thrown around like a
important
rag doll. If there's
I leave that to you to decide. If there is enough flexibility in the timing that Xanthias could have been there for it.
I think
you
it would be,
think
like,
it is more
towards the
dramatically
very end.
interesting that he is not there until the end, then that's fine.
if Gruff turns around and is sad that I'm not there, then I'm not there.
Okay, perfect. I love that. It's a good little bit of dramatic moment. I
Not
love it.
that I want Gruff to be sad.
But it's a good
Ruff
moment.
would absolutely be devastated if you guys weren't there.
Well,
If you're
Oh yeah,
there,
you
I
by
had to not be
extension
there.
wouldn't have
Yeah.
been there because you were
You couldn't
taking
make
a
that
big
decision
shit.
for Rose.
no,
were
because
there?
what we can say is that Rowan, in his desperate search for a bathroom, ran back into the ballroom, got to witness the Gruff thing, and then ran off again to
He
find
was
a
in
new
the
bathroom.
background like,
I need to get Xanthias for this moment.
yeah. But if there's like a period of time in which Gruff is talking to all the knights and everyone is like surrounding Gruff and stuff like that, I would 100%. Not that Xanthias doesn't care about you being knighted. That's all well and good. However, he has just been threatened by Obsidious and has been told that there's other people who 100% saw it. He's like hyper aware, like looking at everyone, almost taking a way back corner of the party. Like, is anyone looking at Xanthias?
Are you making? Do you want to make a stealth check
If
to like
it's-
avoid attention, or do you want to make a perception check to see
it's
if
not that
anybody is
I'm
like
trying
looking
to
for you?
hide myself as such. More, is anyone looking at me strangely?
Insight then.
Insight. Okay.
Gruff,
Wisdom,
trying to
even
figure
better.
out where you were.
Yeah. Oh no, Gruff knows. Gonna have to kill Gruff.
Do I spot Xanthias?
Yeah, I think like he's not hiding, so like anybody who wants to.
That
can
is
spot him.
it's just a 10 on
10?
insight.
It's very difficult to tell. It's a very crowded room. Everybody's kind of excited that the Duke and he's here, and they're talking about the thing with Gruff. You definitely see people glance at you and like look in your direction.
Yeah.
That could be read in a million ways. Like
Sure.
people look over to you as you're like stood in the corner looking around. Some people frown. Some people kind of like bow their head like in a polite sort of like, I'm going to acknowledge you.
Anyone that frowns, I take a picture in my mind.
Yeah?
They've got to die.
Okay.
No, I don't.
They're going to get dwarfed.
Again.
No, I.
Do you want to know who does that?
The Duke.
If someone, I mean, if someone is like looking at me and it's anything less than just an idle chat, hello, then like I'd be concerned. I'd be suspicious.
The person that there'd be certainly one person that would look at you in a less than great
Savory?
way.
Yeah.
Well, not in a less than great way. There's just sort of a look of more of a kind of cold, neutral regard, almost like they're trying to like place you or figure you out.
Oh no. Okay.
Which is the representative, the Knight of Gildai, who you don't know, but you see them with their small entourage as they look over at this solitary gold dragonborn, who is clearly a gold dragonborn in Caldra wearing cauldron clothing, and they sort of look over in your direction and like properly like do that eye scan where they like look you up and down. And then they just incline their head and then go back and they begin whispering to their companions.
That's fine. I was already suspicious of those guys. I was already scared of them.
A few others do notice you, like look over to you, but it tends to be more of a sort of like a polite bow of the head, or they look at you and then just immediately like look on like as if, oh, that's not who I'm looking for and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
there's
think
definitely not just them that
For anyone that
notice you.
does see me, except for a couple that catch me at the right time when I'm not really distracted, and in my own mind, I do sort of return the hellos and stuff like that. It's not like I am completely phased out, but I think
Yeah.
for most people, they'll see see me kind of idly like.
Most people aren't even talking to you. They're
Right.
just sort of like looking, nod, and then they move on.
Yeah, but anyone that I guess that would look over and see me, I'm kind of not like far away, but like just looking around the room in a corner on my own, like idly like rubbing my neck where that sort of spell took hold. And yeah, just us.
Great.
Can I go up to Xanthias in the corner? Mm-hmm. Probably startle him a little bit. Xanthias! Where have you been? Did you see? Did you see it? Why aren't you over with Gruff? It's Gruff's moment.
Oh, yes, it is. I need to go congratulate Gruff on this.
Also, these were almost out. I brought you this sweet thing that was on the dessert table.
Really?
I saved it for you. I got one for Gruff
What
as
is
well.
this? What is it?
It's like
I
a
don't know,
big,
but
it's
it's
like a
really good.
sugary cloud. It looks like a piece of cloud.
No, Daisy, it looks great. Enjoy it.
Come and see Gruff. Come on.
Oh, yes, I will. Okay, you go ahead.
I'm just gonna take his hand and put the candy floss thing in his hand. And
Daisy,
then-
now is not the time. Please, you go congratulate Gruff. I'll just stay back a second.
Little scene there.
Rowan comes over.
It's definitely a few people notice.
He's got 2 pints. He's got 2 pints of water.
Okay, so you're not seeing Gruff in this state, so I need you to down these so you can get sober.
Is he
I'm
drunk?
not-
He's drunk as hell. I found
Oh
him on the
my
floor.
God.
Oh, God.
Xanthias.
Okay, I haven't
You should
had...
probably have that
I had
cloud. as
maybe
well.
a
Get some
quarter
food in
of a
you.
wa quarter at most.
Put
Okay,
this
all right, look, I'll go,
candy floss in the
okay,
mouth,
let's go
in the
see Gruff,
mouth.
let's go see Gruff,
Going in
okay,
the
I'm
mouth
not,
now.
please.
Choked by 2 people.
I leave
today.
this entirely in your hands. You can not consent to having it put in your mouth, Tom.
I mean, if Rowan is putting food in my mouth, it's hard to like...
This is what's good for you.
Okay, all right, okay,
Now
yes.
some water, okay?
I don't need water. Rowan, thank you.
He's a knight errant, damn it.
As you guys are having this like little moment, Dame Helena, who you fought in the Crucible, one of the knights, a devotee of Saint Massara, is everything all right? Are you well? Is your friend not feeling very well? Do you need any magical
I
assistance?
don't need
or-
magical assistance. No, thank you. Just a miscommunication on the amount that I drank. I stumbled a little bit. I tripped over my cloak, and they think I'm drunk now.
Oh, I see.
I wasn't.
Are
involved.
you?
No, I'm not drunk. I swear.
Okay.
I'll
all
even put a finger on my nose. I
What
spin.
does that prove? What does that prove?
I don't know. I saw
I'm
someone
not,
do
here,
it. drunk.
I'm not here to judge, merely offer help if you needed it, but
No,
I will
I'm
leave you and
okay.
your friends.
It's
Okay, well, Rowan is taking care of you, so that's fine. I'm gonna go and take this other cloud and give it to Gruff, okay? Mm-hmm. And you should come and see Gruff
I will.
as soon as he's okay.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Yes. Do you need a little burp?
You
I
should
baby
maybe
burp
do.
you.
Daisy's
Come on
Daisy's gonna go
Let it
towards
out.
Gruff
Okay.
in a very enthusiastic way.
Knowing that Rowan is not going to let go until I go.
So just for my benefit, Rowan picks you up and baby burps
baby
you
burps
in the Duke's Palace in front of everyone. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that.
Does a little
I don't know, Rowan. You tell me.
I don't lift him up.
But you just sort
give
of
him a little
hug, but then you pat his
Come
back.
on.
does a little flame come out?
Right, so it just looks like you're giving a
Yeah,
friendly
I set
hug.
fire to.
All right.
I dragon breath.
Daisy makes her way over to Gruff.
Do you, Andy?
Daisy Thistleout, what can I do for you, my love? Accurate, yes.
You're not screaming, so I'm doing it for you. Here, I brought you this as a celebratory cloud thing. It's very sweet. I don't know what it is, but it's really good.
Right, a cloud.
It kind of melts when you put it in your mouth.
Sugar,
It's
you
quite
say?
fun.
I'm trying to cut down my sugar.
Try a little bit
It's not
because
good
it
on
feels
my
like
fans.
magic. Feels like magic.
Okay, I'll try a little bit for you.
Okay.
Takes a little bit.
Oh, as soon as it touches the tongue, it like dissolves, leaves like a sweet, sticky taste. A little, maybe a hint of spice that the Caldrons probably wouldn't notice because they're used to it.
It's very nice.
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't like it.
Okay, that's fine. I'll have it. It's fine. I just thought I'd save it because there was hardly any
My
left.
paws are sticky.
Sorry.
Oh, my foot is
Sorry.
sticky. I'm all sticky.
Sorry. try and help clean it up.
Yeah. Get like a little wet napkin.
Have you spoken to all of the knights now? Because you're a knight now. Well, knight errant, but still.
They've all come up to me to say congratulations and all that, and oh, it's a bit overwhelming, Daisy.
But you're doing great.
Do I look all right?
Yes.
Am I keeping it together? Okay.
You look amazing. The hair, the armor, everything's working.
The braids are holding.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you have this conversation with Ophelia and things like that, Ronan and Xanthius, are you going to go over there, or do you have more that you want to do separately?
I guess you tell me. You trying?
You don't have. You also don't have to roleplay out the whole thing. We can just be like, yeah. Eventually, we all get
once
together.
Once he's burped,
Yeah.
I'm
He's satisfied.
come on now.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So were you there during the knight errant bit?
Towards the end.
Towards the end. Okay.
So Gruff saw him enter, like, maybe as the thing was put on your shoulders, as like the last few words were said. So he saw like the last bit where you got properly knighted as a knight errant, or like made a knight errant. But he certainly wasn't there at the beginning.
As you're coming over, Daisy's describing how she's going to decorate Gruff's room with magnificent paintings of Gruff being a knight, and she's going to put the banner up in his room that says "Yay Gruff" and all of this stuff about the tournament. And yeah, basically Daisy's just like super excited talking to Gruff.
Can we get a word in between all the excitement, or
When
is
you
it
come,
like?
I feel like when Xanthius comes over, I'd be like, "Oh, he's here!" Rowan, is he okay?
Congratulations, Gruff.
I do the hand. Oh, he's stumbling a bit.
What happened?
Nothing. Grufford! Well done!
Okay,
You did it!
a massive congratulations.
I don't know what.
On
I mean,
who?
I don't think that
If
they're
it's on
trying.
them,
They're
it's
not
on-
trying to keep anything from you. So
I rolled a 17. I guess just that little note of something in
Yeah,
reference.
one of Ophelia said that.
Oh wait, who are you in?
Ophelia has come
Because if
back
it's
from the dead!
I leave it up to the
yeah, who are you inciting? Oh, in that case, yeah, fine. Roll it.
So like, yeah, what does a 17 insight pick up from her? And it's trying to
I
hide
twitch,
anything?
And I look at Xanthius, and I'm doing this to Daisy.
And with the other hand, you're doing like a drinking symbol.
And then, like, he's fell on the floor
And
with my
Daisy's
hand.
not subtle in the way back. She's going,
Right, what have you boyos have been up to? You haven't been causing trouble, have
Nothing.
you?
No trouble. No, they
Not
are under
infirm,
the
are you?
impression.
I've got some
still,
new-
yes.
It says infirm now. Yes, I got some new.
That's okay. No, they are under the impression that I've had too much to drink. That is simply not the case. Half a wine at most, not a bottle, glass.
that
Half a
doesn't
glass.
help me because I don't know how much wine you would typically drink. So maybe that is what your limit is.
To be honest, the wine here is rather strong. See?
It is
very
quite
nice.
strong,
Yeah.
but no, I mean we had 2 glasses while you guys were sparring the other day, and that was
true.
I was
Yes,
totally
but
fine.
Yeah, but that's Ophelia. Ophelia can drink
I only-
a full bottle and be absolutely fine. I don't know what your tolerance is.
I put a big paw on your forehead.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Just feel.
Look
he's
at
just
this.
feeling around.
A real knight
I
errant.
know, you're still doing it.
Making sure.
Now, I just want to say a massive congratulations on becoming a knight errant, of course, but I hold in the highest regard me being your first charge, and I hope that doesn't change. Remember, I'm still meek and infirm and vulnerable.
Oh yes, you are, aren't you? They've cleared up some of the tenants. Like the scroll that I had, bit outdated.
Oh no, it doesn't say anything about not
No.
protecting Dragonborn, does it?
Do not protect Xanth. No, it says
That's specific.
to pass on the wisdom of age and ensure it's protected against those who would misuse it. So I can pass on my wisdom to you.
Oh, okay. Share your first lesson as knight errant.
My first bit of wisdom. When drinking, I like to go.
You should listen to this, Xanthius.
Okay, sure. Okay.
You go a wine and then you go a water. But then stick to the wine. Don't mix a beer in as well. Take a type of alcohol and have that the whole night. Don't mix them. When you mix them up, that way madness lies.
That way madness lies. So wise.
Wise.
And if you leave a glass of water at home next to your bed, then
For how long?
no, then you can drink it when you get home. And it's the last thing you drink
Right.
before you fall asleep.
Then you fill it back up.
Yes. Well, if you have the
Then
energy.
you leave it till the next time you drink.
No, you can keep drinking it. And you should just stay hydrated anyway. That's my Second bit of wisdom.
Stay hydrated.
Always stay hydrated.
Rotate between water for your drinking.
Always
and
be hydrated.
Drink water
Is the
more.
water optional?
Well, I suppose if, the
Could
other
it keep just being wine?
wine isn't very
Leave yourself a
hydrating.
glass of wine on the bedside. You come home drunk. Oh, have a lovely glass of wine. Yum, yum, yum.
And everyone's concerned about me.
It's not the most hydrating, no.
Ah, I see. So,
Maybe the other stuff that you
the other red
imbibe.
stuff. Oh, that's a good idea. yes.
No, don't leave glasses of that lying around anywhere
Just
where
keep a
anybody
blood boy
can
by
find
the
it.
bed.
No,
Why not?
That's my third bit of wisdom. Keep a blood boy. No, I
Blood boy
do
in the
not
bath.
say that.
This is
I
my
do
blood
not.
boy.
I do not say that. We're not thinking about
You're giving me
breakthrough.
ideas.
no.
No, what?
No leaving blood anywhere in the vicinity.
I can't have a little glass by the side of my bed.
No.
I could in Osseous. I had a whole picture.
Very different.
Well, when you have your own room, absolutely. But for now, we are all still kind of sharing. So maybe until we fix up the place, or just keep it in the shrine.
Yes.
So, about that,
The shrine.
the house.
Oh,
Right.
we should fix it.
Yes.
Right.
Now, do we need a room of trophies for you?
Are you all intent on staying in Ashen Rest?
Yes.
I'm building a shrine, but I suppose I
She's
can.
building a shrine, so we have to stay.
I mean, I intend
Right?
to.
That's what we all agreed.
We don't have to
I-
stay all the time. We can move a bit.
No, we can go around.
Yeah, but we always keep going back home.
We'll keep coming back.
The
Of course,
water's going to be
I mean,
there.
we don't have a tavern anywhere else. A dilapidated tavern. That's hard to say. Turns out, dilapidated.
Dilapidated.
I'm not drunk.
Sure.
Walk in a straight line.
I've done. Look, I put my finger on my nose, do a spin. See?
I'm fine.
I don't know if this proves anything.
Because did you hear the task I got given?
Oh yeah, we should help you with that. Though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do it really quick and then we can go back home.
Task.
Oh, so you didn't hear?
Oh, the way you said that.
No. Well, I saw
It's okay, Xanthi.
the best bit.
Just the most important moment in my life.
Well, it was. I saw the tap, the shoulder tap, and the actual
Rowan's
you were
standing
coming. And I
behind,
don't.
shaking his head.
Well, you missed some of it too.
I was pooping. I couldn't. I'm sorry, Gruffith. I was pooping. I couldn't help
He
it.
has been in pain all day, though. To be fair.
I'm sorry. I can explain later.
What?
I can explain later. Just not right here.
Are you okay, lad?
I think he's making vermin vulnerable.
Xanthius,
Vulnerable.
do we need to leave?
No. No. We can stay. If we left. I'll be the first.
As you are having this conversation, a dwarven man, very well dressed, approaches you dressed as a considerate, an advisor to the dragons. This is Edath Orgrim, who you've met before. Oh, I hope you are all enjoying your evening. Duke Ignarius and Lady Emberissa, as well as Dame Cassandra, have requested to speak with you when you at your earliest convenience. Hopefully this evening. They are just wrapping up with some of their other guests, but we have a waiting room set aside for a more private conversation. But they have requested to speak with you about some matters that they feel that you could be of great assistance with.
Okay, this evening.
Ideally, I believe, is the request. The Duke finds some of these balls are rather tedious, and it would be a welcome distraction for him.
Oh, well, of course.
Right away, yes.
Yes.
Oh yes, that would be marvelous. I can bring you to the audience room, and then they will join you as soon as they are ready.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Come with me. And Edath Orgrim will take you out of the main ballroom. A few of the knights wave goodbye to Gruff. Sonora Kell will just sort of...
Awkward smile.
Dame Norakel will just nod to you. She's going to be staying here for a while, so if you need to ask her any questions, you can do. But you are led out of the ballroom, down one of these impressive marble-floored stone pillars, beautiful tapestries, display cases with kind of historical items and pieces of gorgeous jewelry, draconic crowns that would fit upon like a dragon's brow and around their horns and things like that. And you are taken into a very plush audience, a smaller kind of like private chamber where the dragons would have private conversations with people that have come to see them out of the main audience chamber. There are these plush couches, chaiselongs of like deep red velvet and gold everywhere. Everything very much stylized in the cauldron manner. Beautiful kind of gauzy red silk drapes hung up everywhere. There is a sort of table laden with wine, water, carafes of wine and water. A few things of like bowls of fruit and things like that are all kind of displayed. And you are left here. Orgrim will turn around and say like, the Duke, His Draconic Majesty Duke Ignarius, should not be long. Please make yourselves comfortable. This pulley here will ring a bell if you need anything from myself or any of the staff here in the Dominus Ignarum, and then sort of shuts the door, leaving you in here.
You're in here.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that Dame Cassandra's back, and people were excited that she's returned. But they also said it would have been good if she'd have been here when all of the stuff.
Do we know Dame Cassandra?
Nope,
I'm trying to
I
recall.
don't remember.
I feel like I've heard the name before, but
People seem to really respect her, from what I've gathered. So,
No, it doesn't ring a bell immediately. Oh, there's more wine here, though.
There is, yeah. Beautiful cauldron red from a local vintner.
I'm like looking around everyone like, see? I'm not the problem.
It doesn't go to her head, though.
Doesn't go to mine.
You were on the floor.
he was on the floor.
Oh,
Yes, I had to pick him up.
where were you?
And he was in a whole different place. What? Drinking alone.
Okay,
That's just sad, though.
we will talk about this later. Later. Don't bring this up to anyone. It's one of those.
Do you have a little private time with somebody?
No, not like that.
Yes, no. Yes, but no.
Yeah, I mean, my immediate thing is like, yeah, I did. It was a private time. Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we need to know the details.
No.
Well, we're very supportive of that.
Oh, that's good, but it's not that not that way. And no.
If you want to introduce us,
What?
I mean, you already know it's okay. No, we'll talk about it later.
It will be about 5 minutes before the Duke comes to the audience chamber, so you have like this 5 minutes of quiet. It can just pass, like if you guys are happy to not have any major talking
Try
points.
to place this Dame Cassandra. Why do I know the name?
I am wondering that it's Cassandra.
From
I've got it
previous
from
campaigns,
Lightfall.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, no,
They use a lot of similar names,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it might be.
I don't think we've actually met anyone in this campaign.
You haven't met them, but the name has
It
been
has,
Yeah.
it's mentioned. It's been mentioned.
mentioned.
The
You've
Wicked
never
team
met
are
them.
like, going nuts right now.
So after about 5 minutes, the Duke doesn't arrive just yet, but another figure enters the room, probably ahead of the Duke. And the figure is a little bit unusual. You find it quite striking because a halfling woman, dressed in this beautiful kind of red, like vest-like outfit with like these puffy kind of slashed red and white sleeves, and she has almost like a musketeer-like hat that she's wearing, and it's got this beautiful griffin's feather in the brow of it, and you can see that she has a rapier like on her side, and you can see on her gloves and on her boots and attached to her belts, and even on like the collar of her hat, she has all these little trinkets, some of which have got magical runes that are glowing. She actually, like the trim of her boots, they are clearly a pair of magic boots.
Okay.
And she has like a little charm on her hat, and she's got like a little pouch and bits and pieces, and a wand as well. So she has this rapier, but she also has this ornate crystal tipped wand tucked into like a sheath on her belt as well. vibrant red, quite thick, voluminous hair, almost like an 80s mum, like, you know, that big, voluminous hair, and then the hat is sort of wedged on top and, like, makes it puff out even more at the sides. She's got quite a sweet face, but very hard to place her age because she's kind of got these big eyes, like a, you know, kind of youthful, childlike eyes, but you can see a little bit of signs of aging, just like at the corners of her mouth, the corners of her eyes, but she still looks quite youthful and exuberant, like a lot of halflings do. She's got like little pointy ears, and she looks around. Well, hello there, everyone. And she takes the hat off and sort of bows, and she's like, where should I put this? And she like has to get on her little tiptoes to put it on like the table.
Let me get that.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, my good man. If you could place that up there for me, please.
Yep.
Well, I thought I would get here before the Duke and Lady Emberissa does, just to make an introduction, as I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting just yet. I am Dame Cassandra Maurice, Sir Cassandra Maurice, if you prefer. I don't really care for whether it's Dame or Sir; both work for me. But Knight Errant of Northvale. I've heard a lot about you, though, in my short time of arriving back here in Ash and Rest. Made quite the little name for yourselves, haven't you?
Oh. Please. It's an honor to meat you.
Oh, I would be very surprised if any of you had really heard of me, but that's very sweet of you to say, my good man. Quite a tall one, aren't you, I say?
I'm a big boy.
Well, we're quite the opposites, aren't we? She is like 3 feet tall, because she is a halfling. So
what?
She is like, yeah, Rowan and her is this enormous difference. But there is... You can tell that there is a confidence to this woman. Like, she does not blink at looking up at Rowan. There is a kind of gleam in her eye. And one thing that I think, because I think, Gruff, you've got a passive insight, right, of like 15, I think?
17.
17?
Ooh.
That's 17, Tom.
Yeah,
17,
I think you're the highest in the party. Anybody else got 15 or higher?
No.
Insight.
Insight, yes.
14.
14, so not quite. You maybe pick up on something a little bit, Daisy, but not quite. But Gruff, you can tell that this woman, when she entered the room and she was doing the whole thing with the hat and she was looking around everyone, she was also very quickly, like, her eyes quickly glanced to Ophelia's rapier, looked to see what weapons like Rowan had on them, was like looking at everybody, like taking everybody in very, very quickly. This is a woman who is has definitely some experience in sort of matters of, you know, warfare or like protection or something. This is clearly a woman who knows what she's doing. And she got like little rosy cheeks, like she's like very if you've played like Final Fantasy 14, a little bit of like the Lalafell, like she's a halfling, but she's kind of got that little bit more cutesy kind of look to her. But also clearly, like, you have no idea how old she is. Like, she could be young, she could be like in a like 60s equivalent of a halfling. You don't know.
If I missed it in the character description, I'm sorry. Was there any heraldry as well?
Yeah, so she would have the heraldry of Duke Ignarius.
Okay.
It would be probably emblazoned on a big sash. Like, she has like she looks like a little musketeer. Like, she's got like this like orange sash over her red tunic and her big puffy sleeves.
Yeah.
She probably has like a little cape like over one arm, and she's probably got like little things. And then she's got all these like little runic items on her. You can clearly tell that she uses magic and like she knows how to fight with a sword as well.
Okay.
And she will look around and say, just like, well, I've heard names, but I couldn't say I could necessarily place them whom is whom. I think I've got some good guesses, but, well, you've met me, so introductions, if I may.
Oh, yes, I am Sister Ophelia de la Rosa of the House of Blood.
Oh, well, a pleasure to meet you, my lady.
Lovely
She, like,
to meet
reaches
you.
up and, like,
Shakes
and,
her hand.
well, yeah, she has to get on her tiptoes, but, like, kisses the edges of your fingers. And you are?
I'm Rowan.
Oh, she like pretends to almost shudder as if
Good
being
to meet
reverberated.
you.
Oh my goodness! Oh, quite a deep voice you've got there. Well, a pleasure to meet you, Rowan, as well. You'd have to sort of kneel, but I can kind
I'm
of.
already kneeling.
Yeah,
I'm already trying to get as low as I can.
She'll shake your hand and so say, well, one person here certainly doesn't need an introduction. Knight Errant
right,
Gruffith, I
oh.
believe. I caught your introduction.
Well, yes, it's you'll have to forgive me. It's still rather strange to have the knight errant part.
Yes, I just recently brought into the circle, I understand.
Yes, literally 10 minutes ago.
Yes, quite an interesting order you've chosen there.
Oh, well, it suits my advanced years and
I would not have been able to tell had you not said anything. You
Flatterer.
look as if you are, what, 20, 30, or something like that?
Met many wild arts, have you?
I've met a few. And you are?
Oh, Xanthius Oregon. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well, sir. And she'll, like, shake your hand.
Yeah, not the, it'll be my ungloved hand.
Yeah, so she'll be like, oh, yes, of course, and she'll switch hands.
I'm left-handed now.
Yep.
I'm really clumsy with my left hand.
You're like, well, because the natural thing, you would reach with a glove, but then you would correct yourself,
swap,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and then she does the same thing. She's like, oh, yes, of course. But there's definitely like maybe a moment of like, that was interesting.
Bobbed it.
Once again, that's double borfin.
Orphan all night long.
And what about you, young lady?
I'm Daisy.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Daisy. And she does that, and she'll like take your hand and give you a shake as well. And she's just like, well, marvelous to meet you all. These dragons and their furniture, honestly, it's not built for halflings. And she sort of has to like hop and sort of like pull herself up onto a chaise longue. But when she does, she sort of sits back and she's just like, brilliant, nice and comfy, wonderful. Well, it shouldn't be long before the Duke joins us, but I should give you perhaps a little a sense of what the discussion's about, really. Now, I've been told that there was some rather unfortunate business here in Ashen's Rest whilst I have been away. This matter with the Lamplighters Guild, demonic attacks, and all sorts of horrible things. But you've also proven yourselves out in Burnell, as I understand it.
Yes, we did this. We apprehended some rather unsavory folk who were up to some... Well, they were stealing artifacts and...
Yes, stealing artifacts and were connected to... cultists who were connected to the embered goddess Belaine.
Yes.
Now, you might not know much about me, but I am not a traditional knight. I am a knight of the realm of Northvale, but I leave the tourneys and the parades and the soldiering to Sir Griold and usually Sir Eldrac as well. My matters, my interests concern more, not necessarily investigation, but I look to problems out in Northvale. I travel to places, I follow up on rumours, vault spawn attacks or cultist behaviour or people who are just up to no good, and I pursue those. And I've been investigating various things around Northvale, and I've come back to Ashen Rest because, well, there's a couple of them that might need my interest, and with everything that happened with the Lamplighters, I simply don't have enough. There's not enough help to investigate some of the things that I've discovered. Now, I've spoken with the Duke, and normally we would offer a more public bounty, a call for adventurers or mercenaries to come and offer their services, but he trusts you, and so I trust you, and therefore we would like to ask your help with a variety of matters. Now, you don't need to accept them. These are optional. If you have your own business, your own affairs to deal with, of course you should follow those up. But neither should you be worried about they are paid. These endeavours, they would be paid as we normally would be. Nor do you have to help with all of them. If one of them is more of your interest, then so be it. But please do not think that you are under any obligation to follow up on anything that we ask you to look into. We are presenting you the opportunity because the Duke and Lady Emberissa trust you.
That's nice.
That is an honour to hear. Do all of these requests take place around Ashen Rest, or
they will see you leaving the town for some time. Some of them might involve perhaps 2 weeks of travel or so, just around Northvale and Caldra. But you will be leaving Ashen Rest for some time, I imagine. I am quite used to travelling on the road, but if you are not, then and you do decide to go on one of these, then I would suggest you make sure you take with you adequate supplies, tools for camping out in the wilds, perhaps, and such things.
Well, we have some travellers in our group that we can lean on and learn from. I myself, not much of a traveller.
No, you really aren't. I'm just thinking back to how I met you.
Yes, but
It sounds like there's a story there.
I was collapsed on the road.
Oh my goodness.
Exhaustion.
Oh, exhaustion.
Troubling thing back
Not
from
enough
the city.
supplies.
I see.
Big mistake, but luckily Gruff was there to save me first of well, first of many nightly errands, I suppose, of yours. Nightly orders, nightly... You know what I mean.
Are you quite right, sir? You're speaking quite rapidly there.
He's been drinking.
Ah,
I've
yes.
been warding off suspicions of drinking.
I find myself in a similar state many times as well. People seem to think I can't handle my drink for my smaller stature, I imagine, but I've proven them wrong on several times. I don't want to go into it too much detail without the Duke and Lady Emberissa here. One of the matters is more Lady Emberissa's request than it is mine or the Duke's, but I said I would help facilitate and make sure that you are presented with all of these options. Yes, well...
Oh, no, we'd be happy to hear them.
Wonderful. Would you say Rowan, wasn't it?
Yes.
Would you mind pouring me a drink of just water, please, my dear?
Absolutely.
Just,
I'll get one for Xanthias as well.
I don't say it like that.
Yeah.
I'll get one for you.
One water, one wine.
Thank you. Yeah.
And yeah, I pour them out.
Yeah, she takes it happily and she she's just like getting off the little chair and then getting to the water thing and then getting back. You think it would be quite an effort for her, so she's like, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get Rowan to do
I
it.
put some snacks on a tray as well.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, you read my mind. She starts like popping grapes in her mouth.
I think I'm ready to start eating again, actually.
I start snacking.
It's very good. Yeah.
Don't have too much.
Why?
You remember what just happened, right?
You don't know what happened in there.
Have you had any of the coal nuts?
Cold nuts.
Yes, a cauldron specialty. Little spicy nuts. They're the little black round balls. In
Oh.
See,
Perfect.
you
That
don't...
sounds
Okay,
lovely.
no, you go ahead.
Yum, yum.
They're quite hot. It's like wasabi pea kind of like, whoa, goes right up in your nose.
It's good.
He just starts crying.
It's good.
After a few...
Malaysian doesn't get to talk about the spicy food.
Yeah, I was going to
I was
say.
like, are wasabi peas hot?
To white people, they are.
Hi. Get me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love it. I love spicy
Like
food,
more
but
bacon.
like, yeah, to a lot of
Like
people, it's
die.
like, Anyway, you've got a few moments before the Duke Ignarius arrives. Is there anything you guys want to ask Dame Cassandra, or anything you guys want to do, like in a quiet period?
Yeah, I would ask. So when did you arrive back in Ashen Rest?
Just this morning.
Just this morning.
Just
No
this
time
morning,
to rest.
yes. Not even, well, even morning. To say morning would be, not quite true. It was perhaps midday. The tournament was ongoing, but I unfortunately had to come straight here. I had to drop off supplies. I had to send messages, missives, that sort of thing.
Oh, well, apologies if this is keeping you from resting after a long travel.
No, not at all. I'm used to it. Like I said, I travel a lot, so I'm quite used to it. I use a little bit of magic to make myself comfortable on the road as well. I know a few tricks here and there to make sure that I don't have to worry about sleeping rough out in horrid weather and things like that. So I'm normally quite well cared for. I would normally have my squires, but unfortunately I've had to dispatch them on business as well.
Where did your recent travels take you?
All over, really. Generally, although I am a knight of Northvale, I often lend my expertise to some of the nearby regions as well. The Heartdales. I sometimes go down to Pharos, the capital city of the province. I have worked for the Archdragon on some matters. I see myself as a bit of a diplomat as well as a knight of the realm as well. So I try to ensure that the Duke and the other draconic nobles and the people are kept in good alliances.
I see. And if you don't mind me asking, if it's private, then tell me to shut up.
I certainly will.
What were you investigating while you were out there?
Well, the most recent things, we will come to some of them, as I mentioned, but I generally, my endeavours, they generally concern matters of magical in nature, but beasts, like I said, vault spawn, cults is quite a common problem. A lot of people unfortunately get led astray by those who would teach them of dangerous entities or corrupt them into doing things dangerous in the pursuit of power or wealth, that sort of thing. Tell me, have you had any experience? There is a name for them, but individuals who are possessed of strange... they might appear as crystals and metal embedded in their skin, embedded in their bodies. Have you encountered such people before?
Dwarves.
No. Not grown from them, embedded intentionally. There is a group that we are aware of, not just in Caldra, but across the Empire, who they take the magic and the relics of the proto-magi and they embed it in their bodies. And they are obsessed with the proto-magi, obsessed with the vaults. They believe that they can become greater than humanity by building the proto-magi's relics into themselves. We call them the Awoken. They are something of a problem. The cults of Belaine and the other members of the Embered as well. Sometimes I deal with simple banditry. Sometimes it is a town being plagued by bandits and they simply need someone to go and teach them a lesson, that sort of thing.
The Awoken sound terrifying.
Sound cool as hell.
They are terrifying. Yes, in a sense they are terrifying. They are... But also I pity them. They prey on people who are disenfranchised or those who are desperate, whether it is for power, revenge, desperate to mean something to the world. They prey upon these individuals. From what I've been able to gather, they do not really understand the things that they put into their bodies. They will find vaults and just take things that the proto-magi have made without knowing what they do or what they're for, and they will just find ways to put them into themselves, and it can have horrid consequences. Mutation, magical corruption, warping.
Wow. Right, motherfuckers. That's not me.
We don't know that.
Are they able to find these vaults? How are they able to track them down?
They either, well, in some cases, we don't believe that they have any supernatural ability to find them. Rather, they research them or they pursue them. Sometimes they go into old vaults that perhaps we have stripped of magical relics, but they will find pieces of the wall and rip that off and put that into themselves. They do not really understand the technology and the magic that they are using. They just simply think that if they can make themselves like the proto-magi, like the vaults, they will somehow gain some understanding. Now, and this is something I do not often speak of publicly, but there are members of the Awoken, they're leaders. Now, they are a little different. They have often found a piece of proto-magi relic or vault or magic that has given them some greater understanding, and I have seen them display powers that I have never seen before. Not magic, something else entirely.
Something other than magic?
Yes, but not... It is not divine, it is not arcane, it is not of the earth, it is something else entirely. Wow. And they have this ability. They do seem to be able to find vaults. Sometimes they can even unlock vaults that we have no idea how to, that we have never had any idea of how to unlock. We believe that the experimentation with the proto-magi relics and magic gives them some insight that we ourselves lack.
Could this affect creatures? We doubled some gnolls on the road and they were horrendous.
Ghastly.
Ah, yes, gnolls, yes, Voltspawn. I do not, sometimes the Awoken will capture these creatures and tame them or ally themselves with them. I've seen Awoken work with gnolls and other such creatures before, but also sometimes we encounter what we would call an advanced Voltspawn, a Voltspawn that has been modified from its original purpose by proto-magi relics or weapons. Sometimes by the Awoken, sometimes they are simply found in vaults themselves. More intelligent versions, more powerful versions of them. A very dangerous thing that we do not speak of too openly with the public.
I can understand why.
Yes, very much like any cultists, knowledge of them will only breed people who want to investigate them, people who perhaps are tempted by the things that they offer. So we try to keep it under wraps.
The thing is, I was about to say, like, do you think there's any Awoken leaders around here? But now she's saying, like, tempted to learn more. I'm like, well, maybe I should stay quiet here. Even though I do want to, I am interested.
But yeah, she will say. But that is, the Awoken are just one of the. They are just simply one of the threats that is posed to the Empire, and it is why that knights such as myself, and indeed now Knight Aaron Gruffith, this is part of what we do, is to protect people from these matters. But like I said, it is the Awoken are just simply one of the potential threats out there. In the world.
Forgive me for asking so many questions. I'm from Osseous. This is all fascinating and all new to me.
Osseous, the realm of necromancy.
Yes.
I have read a little on it. I have met one of your fellow Osseans, I suppose I would call them. Long ago, this was years ago now, one of the first to come over to our shores, I believe. A diplomat, there was a certain title for them, but it escapes my mind now. But I remember that they had immense power, necromantic power and spells that I'd never encountered before. They could pull bones from a creature and use them almost as weapons or shielding. They could create armor from it. It was grotesque but impressive display of magic.
Sounds fascinating.
I'm afraid that it is not in my purview. I did not learn of the magic myself, my dear, but there is one of your...
Like, looking at the group, and Ophelia's like wide-eyed with wonder, and everyone else is like...
If I'm remembering correctly, you said you are Sister Ophelia of the House of Blood.
Yes.
I believe that I can't remember the title or their name. It was years ago now. It was only briefly, but we fought some creatures together. They said they were from the House of Bone.
Oh, yes, it explained, yes, the bone magic, yes.
Yes. They were, they served some baron of theirs or some such, I believe. They were sent over as a sort of diplomatic envoy. They were dealing with a lost acolyte who had been sent here with them and had gone missing, and I helped them recover them.
So the House of Bones has been here before.
Yes, they passed through, I believe.
That doesn't help me. Oh, they weren't supposed to be here already. Fine. Sorry. Thank you.
I'm sorry to bring you distressing news.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. We're just in a little... The House of Bone, they bring me some... They're fascinating, but they irritate me. You see, we have a rivalry amongst the houses.
No, I can understand that. It's very similar to the provinces, I imagine. And there can be rivalries.
Yes,
such.
just the House of Bone. They think they're better than us, and the House of Blood are clearly better.
I'm afraid I could not possibly say either way. You seem lovely.
I won't. Thank you. I won't
yeah.
go. It's boring politics stuff. I won't go too much into it. But it's just, it's just stress. Makes my job more difficult knowing they've already been here.
I love the fact that Ophelia in canon says that.
Bleed me dry.
With that, there's a sort of awkward silence, as I think nobody really knows how to respond. But then the doors open. You can see, Edarth Orgrim opens the doors, and stepping into the chamber, having shrunk themselves down a little bit just to make it a bit more comfortable, still standing at least sort of Rowan's height, like 8 feet tall, you see the dark, scarred skin of Duke Ignarius, wearing a much more formal, regal, no armor, still has like I think he would have like a giant battle axe. Like he has that like on his belt, like a very fine, wicked-looking, sort of jagged bladed axe with an ornate hilt and things like that, like in a loop belt or at his side, more for display than anything.
Is this a stand situation the moment he comes in?
You tell me what you guys do.
I stand.
Dame Cassandra does the same as well. She wiggles off the chair, sort of stands, and she would place a hand over her heart, sort of like as the Duke enters.
Mimic that.
Okay, sure, yeah. The Duke enters. He's smiling quite broadly, and then sort of entering very gracefully and lithely behind him. She looks a little bit. When you saw Lady Emberissa before, she had slightly kind of tanned skin. She looks more more pale-skinned, more sort of like my skin tone this time. Still has the ornate black horns, the red hair, long sort of like, glamorous diva-like red hair, wearing this kind of red silk shifted kind of outfit covered in gold jewelry, like arm bangles and necklaces and ornate things around her horns and things like that. You can still see that there is a little bit of scarring on her arm, but it's begun healing. And Duke Ignarius will sort of boom, well, thank you, friends, for sitting with us. Please, relax, be at ease, sit. This should hopefully not take too long, will it, Cassandra? No, of course not, my draconic liege. I've briefed them a little bit, but I have not gone into the details, and I would not dream of speaking on Lady Emberissa's behalf, of course. My lady, and she sort of bows deeply to Emberissa. Cassandra, wonderful to see you again. Thank you for your time, heroes. My father wished to speak to you on some potential matters he needs help with, and I thought that I would request something of you myself, if I may.
Oh, well, thank you for having faith in us and assisting you in your...
You, my good people, my citizens, people of my North Vale, as I have made you one of my own, I trust you immensely. After all that you have done for Ashen Rest, the way that you dealt with that traitor Tobias and the Lamplighters, after everything they did, you stood against them. You saved this town, my town. For that I will always think of you favorably. Please, sit. Let us take a moment here. And he places his immense frame in like one of these chairs. Team ball fit. And with that is where we're going to take our break. And when we come back, we'll go into their offer of what they would like you to look into, if you would like to.
I want to get that quest log updated. Well,
Turns out, like, what he wants us to do is look into reports of some crown steal in the area.
no, weird. No, I won't take that mission. No, sorry.
Don't fancy that one.
I don't want to do that one.
That is it for part one.
It's me! We can automatically hand it in, though,
I boffed it hard.
With that, that is going to be it for part one. We will see you in part two. We'll see you very soon. Join you soon.
Yeah, that checks
soon.
out. Yeah.
Join us soon.
Join us. Bye now.
Welcome back to part two of Altheya, the Dragon Empire. Our heroes have been wrapping up the events at the ball at the Dominus Ignarum, the Duke's Palace. Following the tournament of the Festival of the Forge, they have been speaking to various friends and guests. They've been accusing each other of being drunk. They have been congratulating Gruff on their knight-errant status. And then, just as before we left, they were approached by Duke Ignarius, Lady Emberissa, and their knight, Dame Cassandra, to talk about some problems or some adventures that they might need some help with here in North Vale. And that's where we jump back in today. In the small antechamber attached to the Dominus Ignarum, off the main audience chamber, sat on these luxurious red velvet chairs and chaiselongs with these gauzy silk drapes, beautiful stone plinths and stonework benches with marble and gold relief and mirrors inlaid everywhere. Very ostentatious space. Duke Ignarius has sat down looking towards all of you. Lady Emberissa has graciously lounged herself on one of these chaiselongs, dramatically spilling herself over. Her 8 feet tall form, her legs almost dangling off the edge.
I imagine she looks like a goddess.
Very much, yeah. This is like with the draconic horns and her long red hair. Duke Ignarius looking like a warrior, like a warrior officer, basically, like in a military almost cut coat, with his scarred face and one broken horn, the other horn decorated in jewelry, this immense battle axe kind of hanging off the side of his belt now. And Dame Cassandra, this halfling woman, not really sure of her age. She has these big wide eyes, cherubic rosy cheeks, but you can see maybe a little bit of age lines around her mouth and around her eyes, wearing this red velvet waistcoat with these slashed puffy white and red sleeves, a sash of orange with the Duke's emblem on it, and a big musketeer hat with a griffin feather in it, and a pair of enchanted looking boots as well. The three of them sat opposite you. You guys all arranged together, drinks all in hand, and Duke Ignarius will say, "Well, perhaps then, Cassandra, you should inform our friends here of the matters that you have been investigating and that you feel that you need assistance with, my knight." And Cassandra will say, like, "Of course, my Draconic Majesty. Well, I did mention to you all that I am involved in local problems and mysteries and dealing with things of a less obvious military nature. Well, there are several matters in or close to Northvale that have sparked my interest, but I am unable to attend to everything, and I am lacking in aid due to several factors. The attack on Ashen Rest has meant that His Draconic Majesty must divert more of his forces to defending the town and defending the local area. This means that there are no troops or soldiers of the Duke's army that I am able to requisition. We must make sure that our villages and the town are protected, and should any of these lamplighters still be working against the town, we wish to make sure that they are found out. There is also the matter of the pursuit of Sunsword Ilkara, I believe, who is still on the loose. Now, I believe Sir Griold and some of the and Zaron Tekis and a few others are going to be pursuing that matter, which means that I also cannot get their assistance. So there are two things in particular that I am intrigued by. They might not lead to anything, but my gut instincts are telling me that they will lead to something. Firstly, there have been a handful of reports and lots of odd rumours about the Rustwale Woods to the north of Ashen Rest. There have been incidents of travellers going missing along the broken road and the Imperial Highway near the woods. Sadly, not too uncommon due to banditry and vault spawn, but something to be considered. But some of the more guarded travellers have also spoken about strange lights moving about the woods at night. It could very well be nothing too out of the ordinary. A vault spawn or some cultists up to no good, but it is still worth investigating. I have sent my squire, Pascal, to the village of Colval to try and gather more information. Colval is nested deep in Rustwale Woods, a small valley alongside the river. It's a remote place that sustains itself, doesn't have too much involvement beyond the biannual hoarding, where they must provide their taxation and things like that. But apart from that, they keep them themselves. The local reeve is a man named Alwyn Dell. Pascal, yes?
Sorry, how does one spell?
Alwyn Dell, Dell, like the computer company.
And that's in
Colvel, so Colvel, Colvel.
Colvel, okay.
Yeah, Colvel.
Oh, fuck me.
Okay.
Colvel.
I'm sorry, what was the forest as well?
The Rustwale Woods. You would know the Rustwale Woods quite well, actually, Xanthius, because the Rust End is on the very edge of them.
Ah, okay.
So it is a woodland that you would know quite well. Noted for the bark of the trees has like an orangey fungus, and sometimes even the bark itself has fibers of iron into it because of the soil there. Like the trees almost pull up some of the iron into its bark. It makes the bark very, very strong, sometimes called rustwood, and that wood is sometimes used. It's not quite as strong as metal, but it's very tough.
Okay.
But the orange fungus makes the trees look like they are rusting.
Right.
So they have like a silvery birch tree trunk that has this strip of pieces of iron and stuff in it, but then it has this orange mossy fungus that makes it look like rust, which is where they get their name.
Do I know that if I lived next to the Rustwale Woods, do I know of it as being like particularly dangerous, or
it is? It's massive.
Okay.
It covers basically all around the fangs of the Empress Mountains. It's around the base of them. It goes across the Ruby River. It goes all the way along the Broken Road and even curves up around towards Kelskaris. It is absolutely massive.
Okay.
And yes, you would know that it is a very old, very large wood being near the fangs of the Empress means that there are a lot of caves that back onto it.
Okay.
A lot of vault spawn often hide there. There is a belief that there are probably vaults hidden in the mountain range, and sometimes the vault spawn can follow tunnels and caves and then come out into the woods. And you know, you would have been taught don't go into the woods alone, like especially as a young boy, like the vault spawn will come out and eat you if you're out at night and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also, being a very old, dense wood, a lot of bandits, people who don't want to live by the draconic, the Dragon Empire's rules, they go out there to try and eke out a living and rob people and stuff like that as well.
Sure. But Colville is like this side of the forest, whereas Rust End would be the opposite side.
Yeah, Colville is closer to Ashen Rest.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like it would take days to travel through the woods to reach there from Rust End. Yeah.
Sure, okay.
You wouldn't have probably gone to Colville.
Yeah.
It's a tiny village. It's not like a small. It's like a proper rural, out of the way. Like unless you're born there, there's not really a reason to go there. It supplies coal. It's like a coal mine basically, and it provides coal and things like that to the Empire.
Okay, sorry, carry on.
No, that's fine. These are good questions to ask. Like, it's definitely a good question to ask. So Dame Cassandra will say, so that is one matter. Like I said, I've sent Pascal on to Colville to try and gather some information, but that I do not have the capacity to go there myself, because the other matter is just before I returned to Ashen Rest, I received a message, a courier, delivered by a bird, actually, sent by an old elven friend of mine. She is a priest of the elven gods before they came to the material world. She lives on the banks, just off the banks of Lake Irivax, which is close to the village of Hearth, here in North Vale.
Would you spell the bank? The banks of Lake?
Sorry, it is the bank of Lake Irivax. Irivax, not Irivax. Irivayx. Irivax. Lake Irivax.
Oh, cool.
My friend is not one to... And in the letter, my friend has requested me to come to them rather urgently, saying that they have a fear of a growing darkness nearby. Now, being an elf, they are prone to speaking poetically and vaguely, but they are not the type to message me with this if it was not quite a serious matter. Without my squire, without any military aid from Ashen Rest, I would welcome your assistance in travelling to there and learning whatever Altheya has discovered. But I am capable of doing it by myself if necessary. These are the two matters that I have brought here. As I understand, my Draconic Majesty, my Duke, you would be willing to offer some payment in assistance for this to these fine adventurers? Yes, of course. Normally, for these sorts of matters, we would hire adventurers or mercenaries, but I trust all of you to, rather than rely upon these, wayward souls, I would much rather entrust this to people I know. I would be able to offer you a payment of 500 gold each, should there prove to be danger and you were to bring back proof of it to me.
Okay. Fine, yeah.
But my daughter, you also have something? Yes, I do. There is a matter that I would request your aid with as well. You have not met him yet, but there is a third knight of the realm of North Vale, a knight of my father, Sir Eldrac Ignis, a dragonborn knight. I asked him to investigate something for me, to head into the Ash Hills, not far from here, to recover a relic, an heirloom of my mother. My mother, the Draconic Lady Enflaria, she was slain during the Battle of the Ash Hills, during the Oriat insurrection. And this heirloom was carried by her companion knight who accompanied her into battle. It is a shield, magical and crafted by my mother. The shield is called Heartwarden. I learned that a group of surveyors and rangers who had been scouting the Ash Hills for resources came across an undiscovered series of caves, not normally of much importance, but inside one of these caves they found a scrap of armor, an armor that I recognized immediately as belonging to Dame Vicara, my mother's companion knight. Her body was never recovered, and so I believe that if she made her way into these caves, it is highly likely that Heartwarden is there as well. I would very dearly like to have my mother's heirloom returned to us. It was something that she worked hard on and something that she was particularly proud of. I have not much to remember her by, and so I would like to recover this shield.
What was her mother called again?
Her mother is Inflaria, like in flare or in flame, Inflaria. Enflariya. Yeah, Inflaria. I'll just write it out for you after.
R-I...
Enflariya. Inflaria.
Okay.
I sent Sir Eldrak to recover the shield, thinking it would be a simple affair. Travel into the hills, into these caves. Perhaps some battle with some creatures along the way. Nothing that Sir Eldrak should not have been able to accomplish by themselves. But it has been far longer than it would have taken him to go and return, and he has not returned. My brother, Obsidius, who is more knowledgeable of magic than me, says that he has attempted to use magic to locate Sir Eldrak, but the Ash Hills, due to the after effects of such a terrible battle long ago, they interfere with certain kinds of magic. Divination and teleportation magics are difficult in that area, and he has not been able to locate any sign of Sir Eldrak. For this, if you were able to return, if Sir Eldrak is in danger and can be rescued, I would offer you a relic of my own from my own personal collection. If you can recover Heartwarden and return it to me, I will pay you 1,000 gold and offer you another magic relic from my collection.
Okay. I like this one.
Gruff.
Okay.
Hello.
It's hard because she is a dragon in human form. But as she's speaking, especially when she mentioned about bringing Sir Eldrak back, there is a very odd look about Emberissa. She glances at the Duke, and you can see the Duke is almost not displeased with her, but he's looking away, oh, this is your there's some sort of issue here, and Emberissa is definitely hiding something about this. You get the impression that she's not telling you everything about this situation. Specifically around this other knight, Sir Eldrak. There's something about this knight that there's something about this which is being sort of kept back.
Am I picking up romantic vibes?
I'm not. You have picked up what I have given you. You can't glean anything more.
Orphan.
Is there? I know this is not my insight check, but even when Emberissa's...
I mean, you can choose. If you think there's something, you can choose to make an insight.
Well, it's just when
It's just
Emberissa
passive
is
insight.
talking about her mother, is there anything on Duke Ignarius's face in response to that? Is it
Yeah, I don't think you need an insight for that. There's sadness.
Yeah, okay.
When they talk about the battle and she mentions her mother being killed and things like that, Duke Ignarius, his face falls a little crestfallen. He probably would reach out and take her hand and he would hold her hand for a bit when she's talking about that.
Okay.
Because there is definitely a kind of sense of loss there.
Yeah.
And also maybe something else. And I think Gruff, you're the only one to really pick up on that. It's more than just sadness. There's maybe a hint of guilt. I didn't save her, kind of she died in the battle that I was, fighting in and I couldn't protect her kind of thing.
Am I allowed to roll an insight check on Emberissa?
Yeah, if you want to go further, if you want to try and really... The only thing is you'd have to ask her a question. So like you can insight her, but you need to like ask her something to try and gain more information.
So she said it was a knight of the realm, right?
Yeah, she said Sir Eldrak, another knight of the realm of Northvale.
Ignis, yeah.
Yeah, Eldrak Ignis. You can think about it if you want. If you want to take a minute to think.
I kind of feel like it would just be like a. Do you feel like this Sir Eldrak Ignis? Is he in danger?
Yeah, that's a great question to ask with this. Yeah. Roll an insight check for me then.
I'm gonna do some fate. Why not?
Sure. Yeah, it's been a point of fate.
Fate it up.
13 plus 4, 17 plus 3,
Wow.
dirty 20.
20. I rolled pretty badly. When you ask, I think it's because of the question you ask. There is a. She's like, no, I'm sure that Sir Eldrak, he is more than capable. He must be fine. He is fine. And you get that there is a sense of like real worry that he's not okay. Like this is more than just a knight of her father's. Like this knight errant means something to Emberissa, a lot more than he probably should. But you're not sure if that's like, is it friendship? Is it romance? Is it something else? You're not sure. But like
a personal connection.
There's a personal connection between the two. Yeah, this is more than just, oh, I sent this knight errant. I sent one of Daddy's knights out and he's not come back. This is like, she genuinely cares about this person.
Okay, thank you.
No, yes, I'm sure that Sir Eldrak is a very accomplished warrior. I'm sure that he would have been able to handle anything that he discovered. Perhaps he's simply trapped and cannot, or perhaps lost in these caves. I'm sure that you will be able to find him and return him.
What does he look like?
He is a dragonborn. He wears full armor. He carries a halberd. He has dark hair, strong. Perhaps you could call him a handsome. He has. He would have human features.
Okay. Thank you for the description.
If anybody, you make more checks and stuff if you want to. As long as you were asking a question or getting her talking, you can ask stuff as well. Same with Cassandra. If you have any more questions about the things Dame Cassandra talked about, you can ask questions about that as well.
The Ash Hills, aside from these caves, is there anything else we might need to worry about there? Anything taken root there?
Emberissa will. I am primarily a scholar and a study of combat, but Cassandra.
Yes. The Ash Hills, as my draconic lady mentions, they do interfere with certain magic spells, divination primarily, teleportation, but we've also encountered pockets where destructive magic can be more potent. It was the scene of terrible battle, and she nervously looks up at like Duke Ignarius when she starts talking about it, but the Duke just sort of nods. A very terrible battle, and many of the dragons who fought in it, and many of the mortal servants of both the forces of the traitor and of Duke Ignarius and the Ignaran family, they were powerful war mages themselves, and such devastation. I mean, there is a reason they were not always called the Ash Hills. Now they are blackened and torched. But they have not regrown, not properly. The grass that grows there grows long and black and thick, like barbs and bristles. It draws things there. Vault spawn, other creatures as well. It is... you must... One thing which is... My Duke, may I speak of it?
Yes, I believe it is important that our friends know what they are potentially dealing with. Many of the traitor dragons were slain in the Battle of the Ash Hill. And though the Duke and his forces and the forces of the Empress and the members of the church who went did their best to recover all of it, their bodies still contained much of that profane metal which gave them such power. And there have always been rumors that the Ash Hills, well, people still seek crown steel there.
likely bandits and criminals hoping to sell it for money, and it would likely not be much. Anything strong or powerful would have been found years ago, but it attracts it attracts a sort of dangerous sort of people, brigands and prospectors who are willing to kill over it.
Thank you, Mark. I fished and I got exactly what I wanted.
Oh, you would have found that information out one way or the other, like whether you asked for it now or you encountered things later on.
God, I boffed it.
Sounds like a fun place to go. Is that the episode title?
Road trip!
But Duke and Iris will say, now, again, I wish to make it very clear to you all. I wish to make it very clear to all of you. I do not expect you to do any of this. I'm not asking you, or I'm not commanding you to participate in these. We bring you these matters because we trust you, that we wish to see you rewarded for great work, because we feel it is valiant, necessary business, but if necessary, I will find warriors. I will put the call out for other adventurers. We will ensure that people are sent to deal with these matters. We are putting it to you before others get the chance. Think of it that way. It is unlikely you will be able to do all of them. Depending on these, will take you some time, I believe. Dame Cassandra will say, yes, unfortunately, most of these locations, you are talking about 10, 14, 20 days away from Ash and Rest at minimum. But they are not urgent either. If you need a few days here in Ash and Rest to wrap up whatever business you have, by all means, there's no need. I will be departing to head towards my elven friend, perhaps in 2-3 days. I want to drop off my things, gather up my supplies, rest a little, if I may, before I head off. But I'm in no immediate rush. If you send word to me, I can delay another day or two if necessary. So you would have some time before heading off to these things. With the exception of Sir Eldrac, I do not believe my matters to be urgent. Obviously, with a missing knight, well, the sooner you could leave, the better. But again, I do not believe that a few days will change much. You can see that Emberissa does not agree with that, but is not saying anything.
Yeah. When we travelled from Burnell to here, we were graciously assisted by the soldiers stationed there. Is it possible that in our travels to wherever we decide to go, we could requisition?
I'm afraid that after the business with the Lamplighters, many of my guards were injured or sadly killed. We simply do not have the troops to spare. I have them patrolling the roads, I have them patrolling the city, or searching for Ilkara Sunsword. That is where the vast majority of my forces. It is why I have come to you, my good friends. Okay. If you encounter soldiers on the road, especially if you are traveling with Dame Cassandra, I'm sure that you would be able to requisition their aid. If you encounter them out there, especially if they are already engaged in anything that is related to your investigation, by all means, I give you absolute authority to ask for their aid. You travel with a knight errant, even if you do not accompany Dame Cassandra. So I'm sure my soldiers would be willing to offer you their assistance.
That's me. That's you. Oh, that's you.
Yeah, you missed that.
No, I missed that whole thing.
You missed it.
I missed it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think, I'm not sure if I have any questions about the other quests.
And let's be clear, these are fucking quests. These are some classic D&D, here's some quests, go on some quests.
Yeah. What colour are they? Grey?
All of them are perfect yellow level.
They're yellow, okay.
There's a few of us have been playing
good XP
classic.
Good money.
I will also say, on an outer game note, 2 things.
Yeah.
One, do not feel you have to do these things. If you have personal things you want to do here, do those, right? You are not under it. Just because I've prepped the ideas doesn't mean you're like, well, we've got to do it because Mark's prepped stuff. Absolutely not. If you guys but as long as you guys have got another idea of stuff you want to do in Ash and Rest, that's perfectly fine.
Like hopping out of a tournament to go speak to a ghost.
Yeah, exactly like that. Perfect. Perfect
kind of
example.
stuff.
That kind of stuff.
Do that.
The second thing I want to say as well is you will definitely level up when you complete these quests. These are guaranteed a level.
Per one?
Per one, yep. Per quest,
shit.
yep. These will all be like multi-session, like, things, so there will be a guaranteed level.
All of them have their own.
I mean, if there's crown steel around, and then this guy.
I've got an idea. We split the party 3 ways.
We all
don't we
level up at
do
the
the
same
At the
time.
same time.
And
Oh, well, but only the people that go on the quest will get the level up, though.
oh, that sucks. I was going to
It's
say
It's not shared XP.
Not shared
there's no
XP.
like affinity. Okay,
Damn.
yeah.
No.
All right. I do have a question
Yep. In character.
in character.
Yep.
Dame Cassandra,
Yes, Rowan. Yes, hello.
I appreciate that your friend Elf
Yes.
is elusive with their wording of the growing dark, but do you have
Yes.
anything else, or can you infer anything on your friendship with them?
Only that I trust them that if they have taken the care to send me a personal message, that it is a daunting problem, that it is one that they do not wish others to know about. Perhaps it is something that they are afraid of in the local area, or perhaps something they fear may cause panic or trouble if others were to learn of it. It is also something that they feel that they cannot themselves leave the area to come and inform me of. I trust them. They are an elf. They are prone to... Oh, she is prone to drama and she is prone to flights of fancy and whimsy, but I trust that this would be serious, something of a real threat. She cares greatly for the living. She is somewhat of a hermit. She lives a few days' travel from Hearth, but she likes the people. She likes she loves the animals of the woods of the flint thorns to the north. I think that this is likely a great threat. Something that she feels that she cannot handle on her own. And she is powerful. She is a strong priest. She can wield divine magic and natural magic. She can transform into beasts. She is powerful.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Sorry, did I miss her name?
Altheya is, well, that's not her full name. That is the name that she has told me to speak to. She thinks that I could not pronounce her full name. I hasten to disagree. I think I could, but she has always been Altheya to me.
Thank you.
Do it then. Don't say that. In terms of the... Yeah, I think I would just sort of... The information that you kind of gave to me about the Rustwell Woods, not all of it, like, oh, the bark is full of iron. I would say to everyone else that there was horror stories that I had when I was younger from the Rust End, but a different side of the woods than where I lived. So...
And there are several... I mean, yes, the Rustwell Woods are constantly a problem. The Duke knows as well as I do, we often have to send patrols. The Broken Road, which runs from Rust End and into Gildeye and then to Ashen Rest, it goes along the Rustwell Woods, and often we are having gnolls or vault spawn attacks, bandits. But there has always been... people who go out into the woods to speak with the Embered. There are people that worship the woods themselves, cults and all sorts of things. They are a dangerous place. It is an ancient woodland, one of the first here in Caldra. It is believed that even when the Empress and the first originators of Caldra as a province, when they came here, there were things in the woods that they fought against, but very few records of it were left. There are old things there.
And these lights they're seeing, is there any more of a description to that? Orange, flame light?
Multicolored lights. It is seen deep in the woods, so the light effusiates, it echoes through, and so details of like flame-like or some such it does not say, but multicolored lights, never consistent. It is not as if every night they appear, but every now and then. There have also been reports of livestock from local farms near Rust End and indeed on the outskirts of Ashen Rest. Livestock have gone missing. there are people speaking of all sorts of things. They speak of the Moth Woman. They speak of, and she lists off a name of a bunch of cryptids.
Woman?
Yeah.
I'm immediately like, I know the Moth Woman.
Yeah.
Chupacabra.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of sort of real world cryptic kind of things. Yeah.
Jersey Devil.
It'd be the Rust Whale Devil. The Rust Whale Devil.
Yeah.
All of
Moreland's
these are sending
Panther.
shivers down my spine.
The Moth Woman. Yeah. Rust End is particularly known. They have a big statue of the Moth Woman out there. You get a Moth Woman pizza. Yeah. It's got a big butt. Yeah.
I just absolutely want to go there just because of me.
I know about the Mothman.
Horror Village.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, like the woods is definitely going to be a kind of like, and like out of game, just because like obviously for like things like purposes of like what you guys will find most fun. The woods thing might be a little bit more of like a little bit of investigation and like creepy goings on and like what's happening in this weird village and stuff like that. It'll be a bit more investigatory. Still going to be combat and stuff like that as well. The traveling with Dame Cassandra to meet with her elven friend, you'll pass through the village of Hearth, and that might be a bit more like, you know, exploring like a dungeon or exploring the woods and fighting against monsters or something like that. And then the Ash Hills is going to be like a proper go out into these magically corrupted hills, find a cave system and a good old dungeon crawl with probably some stuff going on in there as well. So.
If you don't mind me delving deeper into the rewards, Emberissa, it's a relic you speak of.
Which one? The one that you are reclaiming or the ones of my collection?
Of the reward.
I have a vast collection of magical relics, weapons, armor that I have collected. I am something of a collector, and I would allow you to choose from my collection.
Okay. I'll risk my life for a random reward. It could be anything.
It's Borfin time.
It could be a shield.
So, in fact, actually, Emberissa pulls out a big box, and it's called the mystery box. You can either have this magic sword, or you can have what's in the mystery box.
The mystery box could be anything. It could be a sword.
He opens it. It's like 10 gold pieces. No, nuts.
Damn it. I put
Play
out
again.
500 gold.
Spin the wheel.
But yes, no, it will be. You will have a range of magic items to choose from.
Cool. It's the biggest reward.
I love how we're all doing that, and it's just like, yeah, there's a scared elf. Fuck, I just.
I mean,
asked about it.
we'll have to
Grown dark.
definitely have to talk
Bit more
about
of a
which
mystery because you don't know
one. I do
anything.
like a mystery.
Anything.
A UFOs in a night story.
I
Kind
feel
of.
like, well,
There's a little bit of not like Lovecraftian, but a little bit like the woods thing is a little bit like Lovecraftian, like cryptics in the woods, and then the one with Dame Cassandra is a bit more like travel with the FBI agent to the town and be like, what's going on in this town? It's a bit more
Shady
X-Files
Pines or something, yeah.
exactly. Or Twin Peaks.
Like, Silent Hill, maybe.
Yeah, no, maybe not quite that level, no,
okay.
but a bit more like Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
Dame Cassandra went into the darkness. She couldn't believe it. It was dark.
Is that how you'd narrate it if we did that?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
becomes a whole theme.
I've changed my
I'll
mind.
do a special thing for the patron where I narrate sections of
Yeah.
the adventure as if it was Alan Wake.
I've changed my mind. I want to do that.
Xanthias looked into the doorway. The things beyond were beyond his wildest imagination.
I imagine.
Where was he?
Unless anyone wants to do anything else here, it would come to a natural
Yeah.
conclusion and we want to discuss
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like, Dame Cassandra will be like, well, we will let you think on it. Let us know if any of this interests you. Like I said, I plan to leave in approximately 3 days, but if you would like me to wait longer, I can spare a day or two as well. Simply send word to consider it, Edath, and I will know. I will be staying here in the Ducal Palace if you need me. But yes, and of course, my draconic lady, Emberissa, will well, if there are any other further questions, I'm sure I can either help field those, or perhaps we can arrange a conversation between you and the lady as necessary. But yes, that is all. That is all I have. Well, I don't wish to keep you longer. I'm afraid that I imagine that the ball itself has sort of run its course, but there may still be some people around if you wish to. I'm so sorry, my dear. Would you like something from the kitchens to take with you?
Yes.
Yeah. No. I'll be fine. Thank you.
All right.
I don't want to put you.
But you would like something, dear?
Oh, it's fine. I can just take some of the fruit.
Okay. Yes.
I pick up some oranges.
What a day. We've got a new knight errant, and we've met Dame Cassandra, and had the presence of the Duke and Emberissa.
You were saying this in the room with them?
Yeah.
Okay. You see the Duke is just like, yes. Well, it is always a pleasure to be amongst our Ashen Rest's own valiant heroes, I think. Still, I will leave you to it, my good friends. I will go and entertain the last of our guests. And then hopefully we will not have another ball for some time. But shame to miss out on another tournament, but still. And again, well fought in the tournament, Knight Errant Gruffith. I will see you all very soon. And thank you once again for your great service to North Vale.
Thank you for your time.
As I said. With him, as he gets up to leave, Emberissa, like, very sort of slowly gets off the couch. She's a lot more sort of, not languid, but a lot more careful and graceful in her movements. And she will sort of bow her head. Heroes, please, do consider helping Sir Eldrag. I am concerned for them. Good day. And then goes to leave. Cassandra will just say, like, well, it's always a bit nerve-wracking when the bosses are in the house, but she puts her big musketeer hat on.
Oh, yeah, I hand it back.
Oh,
From
thank
the
you.
tall,
She kind of, like, pokes it on her head. Right, well, I think that is everything. Like I said, if you have any questions, please come and let me know, but I will.
Did you say you were setting off in 2 days?
3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
And this is a map question more than anything. She was heading to Hearth, right?
We'll be passing through Hearth on the way to the lake, yes.
Way to the lake, so-
Irabex, yes.
Which direction?
Do you have a map of the local region?
Nope.
We
Ah,
can get
we
one.
don't.
No, have no need. She takes off her musketeer hat, she reaches into it, and she pulls out, she's like rummaging, she's like, yes, I think I have one. Ah, yes, and she
hat of holding.
pulls out a simple small scroll case.
But still way too big for the hat.
Yeah, absolutely. This is absolutely a hat of holding. And she opens it up and thumbs through a few different documents, and then she pulls one out to give you a small regional map. So I only have it in a small version, and
I'll take that straight away. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I know I'm not playing Quill anymore, but
yeah.
I do love a map.
Gimme.
But it's a halfling-sized map, which is why it's so
put it in the
small.
middle, actually. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if Sam will be able to get a good view on it.
Okay, sorry. So heading out of where are we?
So you are in Ashen's Rest. If you want to, I can. If you slide it my way, I will point to it. Yeah, slide it to me, and I will point. Out stuff.
sorry.
Sam, you're gonna have to.
Sorry, Sam.
So Reap's
Yeah.
Dish.
So let me sort of kind of.
Angle it a bit, yeah.
So we are.
Ashen Rest is here.
Oh, top middle. Okay.
Ashen Rest is up here. Hearth is here.
To
Lake
the
Irivax. So it's to the
west.
west.
West. Okay.
Southwest, yep. To the west with Lake Irivax here.
I see.
Rustwell Woods all around up here.
East and
Oh,
northeast.
that's how I
okay.
spell that.
And then the Ash Hills.
South
here.
east. Okay.
Yeah, so
A
you'd have to
gift
cross the
for
bridge.
the map.
So if we, so the only way that we would be able to travel with
Move down here.
Cassandra.
Cassandra is if we went on that particular quest towards the lake.
I mean, like, yeah, yes, exactly. You would purposely travel with her.
Yeah.
So, as a point, this is a hex grid map. Each of the hex grids is a day of travel. Okay. Any hex that has terrain, such as a river, woods, or hills in it, adds an extra half day of travel.
Oh.
So, it's like a day and a half, basically.
Very well.
So, for example, if you were traveling to Hearth, you would go out the north gate of Ashen Rest, and you have to go out either the north or south gate into the relevant hex.
Okay.
So you would go to one day here, 2 days, and then you would arrive in Hearth on the halfway through the third day, and then to get to the lake, you would have to travel through the hills to get to the area. You don't know exactly where you're traveling there.
I see.
They're 1.5
Okay.
days. Likewise, if you're heading to the south to the Ash Hills, you would go 1 across the bridge, which is 2, 3, and then you start to get towards the Ash Hills near the ruin of the Ashen
Almost a week
Citadel.
away then.
Yeah, so it's going to be like a week's travel, 2 weeks to get there and back most places.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Ah, Sam's
will,
just like.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we can also try and we'll post this to like maybe the
there we
Patreon
go.
and stuff like that.
Yes, for podcast listeners, it'll be free to view on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Once we is.
There you go. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Cool, man.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was my main question: was which direction is Cassandra going? Could
All
we,
three are in
start-
different directions.
complete different directions. Okay, fair enough.
There is no, we'll do this one on the way to this one. It's like, no.
Well, it's more just could we travel with Cassandra a bit of the way?
Now, this is a bit of out of game thing, but not to add to your quest log, but do not forget you also have the matter of Tyrea that you still wanted to look into, and you might have your own personal things that you want to go into. For example, Gruff, your test is going to be maybe any of these could apply to your
that's
test.
what I
You
was
don't know.
thinking, yeah.
Like, exactly, right? You might have your own personal things that you want to get involved in.
What was the wording on your thing again? It was like
You would know if you were there, Xanthias.
motherfucker.
Oh, deep cut.
It's a deep cut.
Find a place that has lost hope and restore it by sword, hand, and word. Bring me the story of your triumph and proof in deed and heart.
Restore the Ash Hills.
Oh, yeah, just
How hard could that be?
Restore the whole hill.
massive area of
Just a huge
magically corrupt.
field of
Just go there,
battle.
plant a seed.
Hey, I'm not.
Take a photo.
I'm
Done
not
it.
knight.
Heart. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's got broken heart?
Oh,
You got broken heart?
the knight.
Oh, the knight got broken. Yeah, restore the heart. Yeah.
It's not a place, though.
It's a bit of a loophole.
There's a bit in it.
I don't know. Heart could be a place.
Heart is my home.
Home is where the heart. Yeah.
That's up to you to sell that.
And it's very much a part of that. But yeah, like there is definitely an element here of like personal quest. But like I said, Tyrea is still a matter. You will also be gone if you take one of these quests. You will be gone from Ashen Rest for some time. Now remember, Tyrea's spirit becomes more unstable over time. So if she's not dealt with and you leave, by the time you come back, she will have resorted back to her ghostly state, her
Reset, full reset.
vengeful spirit state.
However shall we deal with her?
You also might want to consider things like getting the repairs done before, like made while
I
you
was going to
leave.
chat about this.
Getting somebody to look after the tavern before you go anywhere.
Let's have a big old organization meeting.
Great.
In the what?
Go on, don't worry.
Well, it's quite late. By the time,
Keys in a bowl.
by the time,
Big old org.
big old organization meeting. No, by the time that conversation with Cassandra and the Duke and Emberissa is done, it is quite late. There's still time to go and mingle with people at the party if you'd like.
Nope.
Otherwise, it is a case of you are escorted out by some guards, and you can make your way back down towards the enticing devil, and you can take a long rest if you wish.
Xanthias is fully partied out.
I think you're probably like edging us, like we're kind of done here, right?
Yeah, we can.
So we're going, right? Are we booking cabs?
Oh, pretty good times had by all.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, well.
We should go and catch up with Obsidius.
No.
Maybe he knows because he's dealt with the magic in the hills.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get through, so we should probably ask him if he has any advice on
Shouldn't
dealing
bother a
with that.
dragon.
Not
Yeah,
right
he's
now,
nice.
at least. Not right now, at least.
That royalty was so lucky to have even seen them the 3 or 4 times that we have.
He was really helpful, though.
He was a very nice man. Anyway, we've got a lot to discuss.
Yes, we do. I've got a busy morning tomorrow.
What do you mean?
I've got a busy morning.
With
Why?
what? What's
I'm
happening?
having a little Ophelia time at
Oh.
the
Like a-
shrine.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
I see.
Yes.
I don't know if I even want to know what that means.
Is it you and Percy just...
I mean,
Praying.
me, Percy, I think Teresa's going to be there. I've asked.
Teresa?
Yes. And that wonderful knight that we battled, I gave him a little invitation.
Were Willow the Witch?
No. Vorax Kell.
The arsehole.
He's an asshole?
Yeah, apparently.
His grandmother thinks he's an arsehole.
Oh. Well, he's coming. Well, maybe. I don't know. He didn't seem that. He was very confused.
See, he's already being an arsehole to you.
Probably. But he might be coming tomorrow.
Okay, well,
Okay, well, we just watch out because Tyria might get annoyed if we have people in the house. And
Oh, she's coming too.
what?
Right.
What?
Yes.
Does she know about you having friends over?
I don't. Probably.
I'm just saying. She said to us before, "Don't bring people into the house."
But it's about. It's about her.
What?
It's about her.
Are they
what did
going to
you-
help us to find the thing to put her to rest?
Oh, a mercenary band.
have you been hiring people? Have you been spending money again?
No.
We already spent on the shrine.
Oh, yes.
I spoke to Tyria while you were all at the tournament, and I offered her a choice. I said we can help her with her quest and put her to rest, or the Grey Father has extended a hand and invited her to the House of Shadows, and I thought, well, I'll offer her the choice, and she took the latter.
Oh, she accepted?
Yes.
So we don't need to. So that's done. That's solved.
It depends if I don't know how to open the way. So my thinking is that maybe when the shrine is finished and maybe I can try and do some kind of sermon or a prayer and open the gate, and maybe Tyria can go through to the House of Shadows.
And then Tyria will be.
And then
At peace?
she will be living another life.
That's really nice of the Grey Father to extend a hand
I
like
thought
that.
so.
He must be so
yes.
busy.
He's very busy. Lots of undead to deal.
Well, that's a relief.
Sorry, return as in another life, as in return to as Tyria, but maybe in Osseous or this House of. Whatever, House of Shadows.
She will be as she currently is now.
Well, that doesn't sound like she'll be resting
that
then.
doesn't-
Because
But
she's very upset.
I gave her the choice, and I was very transparent, to put it bluntly.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Ghosts.
Just so I have this really clear in
Yes.
my mind. You offered her a choice of rest or revenge.
Yes. Well, not revenge, but how do I put this?
A new home.
A new home,
How you
yes.
phrased it, I think, when we were.
Yes, a new home, yes. One where she can work on the powers that she currently has and maybe find new abilities, new ways to harness what she has.
She did almost kill
Well,
these
yes.
people.
Now the abilities that she has in Rage, sure, was almost devastating for both me and
Yes,
Rowan.
but she will have guidance. She will have others around her where she can learn and develop those powers.
Will they make her better? Make her feel better?
Will she be able to forget?
The
what's
horrible,
happened?
horrible things that she's been through.
Forget, maybe not forget entirely. But it'll be a new life for her. She'll find new purpose.
Will it be a free life, or will she be expected to have duties like your Percival?
I don't think she'll be like a mindless. So I don't want to say mindless drone. That's quite offensive to Percival, but she won't be a puppet, I suppose.
You would know that a spirit as powerful as Tyria, she would be basically a noble. Like, she would be powerful. Like, she would be, she wouldn't just be some, mindless shade. She would be a kind of like the count, like you and the Countess. She would basically be like you. She would be maybe a starter spirit who then can ascend to becoming a noble of the House of Shadow.
So she'll be like me. She will have free will, and she will be able to go about her business and live another life as this new Tyria.
Right.
But where?
In Osseous.
in Osseous. Mm-hmm.
Not in the Grey Father, not in the Grey Lands. She will be on Osseous, in our world still.
And she chose this.
Yes.
Was she like,
She was like,
at the time, was she quite
no, she was...
cursy? Like,
No,
was she with the shutters going back and
She
forth?
manifested very calmly and just reached out to me and she passed through me, as she does.
That's freaky.
That's terrifying. I hate when that happens. But now I don't wish to make any assumptions of Tyrea or the position they're in, but a free Tyrea in Osseous is just as free to come to Altheya as you were. Free to do whatever Tyrea wants in Altheya, Eomera, sorry.
Well, under the guise of the House of Shadows, she won't just go.
But are you certain that this was not
She
a
has to
choice
come-
between rest or revenge?
No, it was a choice between. I laid it out very clearly. I said, we can put you to rest, and you can be free of this life that she's living, or she can have a new one.
But if she can come back here anytime.
Oh, she has to cross the sea. Not many people cross the sea. I was very lucky.
It was a very long way as well. It was
Yes.
a long journey.
But what if she comes back to the inn again? And then we've just spent all this money doing the inn up and making it lovely, and then she comes back and decides, nope, still my home, I'm gonna break it.
Well, it's her choice, I suppose. Like I said, I gave
I don't
her...
think this solves the problem then. Because she's not gonna be at rest. Because she's still gonna maybe come back. She could come back whenever she wants. She could go anywhere.
She'd probably go back to... We should probably find Cavern. Maybe she can lead us to Cavern.
Yes.
It's a long way around it, I know, but...
But that's the point I'm making. Wouldn't she be living a life filled with a hatred that she currently holds, but with the freedom to act on it?
She can get all murdery.
Maybe.
Untethered from the tavern.
And Ophelia like,
Now-
your point is?
If Tyrea is
She almost
untethered from the
killed-
tavern, then that's a good thing. But I mean, not to imply that you know a great deal about the House of Shadows, but how many of the House of Shadows are these spirits that have chosen that path and are still filled with the torment and rage and anger?
Are they happy? Do they like it?
Do you want to answer that question? Pretty much like most of the undead in Osseous, in the houses of the Great Father, there will be elements of that. Like, as Xanthias is saying that to you, you know that most of the spirit nobles do still carry a little bit of that. They're banshees and they're wraiths and they are these specters made of like vengeful spirits, but they're in control. Right now, Tyrea is not in full control of that anger and that rage. What the House of Shadows teaches them is to control it and to use it. What the House of Shadows specializes in is information gathering, because they can go places that nobody else can. And that is what the House of Shadows trains them to do. They also are, and again, this is what Ophelia knows, are rumored to be some of the greatest assassins of the Grey Father. Because once again, they are these powerful, vengeful spirits that can go places undetected and kill people without even touching them. And so that is like another path that often their members go. They're sort of like spies. They're like the Secret Service. So they do have that rage and that anger still in them, but they learn to control it as a secret agent or an assassin has to learn. You have to have like certain ability in you to take a life like that. Not as a soldier, not as like a military soldier, but as a cold professional killer. And they learn to control it so they can do that. That's what Ophelia knows. What you say to this lot, that's not my
To be
decision.
clear as well, like
A little bit about the assassination?
Yeah, maybe.
not to
on the assassination?
not to diminish the efforts of someone getting over a human getting over grief.
Yeah.
I imagine that for a ghost, this is like a supernatural, like it's raptured them. It's taken over them.
Part of what makes them who they are. Yeah, absolutely.
Keeps them.
Yeah, but that's why they learn. The House of Shadows teaches them to control it, so they can still exist as that thing, but they're not just like blah, 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 you know?
Okay.
It becomes that cold. They unleash that rage on the people that maybe they want to get rid of, or against their enemies.
Okay.
And things like that.
Okay.
So imagine a Tyria that was fully in control of what she was doing. That's what she would become.
Yeah.
So probably still like against people that she feels wronged her and stuff like that, maybe, but also like the house, like any of the other houses, it is a theocracy that is heavily indoctrinated in with religion, and it's very rare for members of the houses to go against the will of the Grave Father. It does happen, because like anything, like it's, you know, you get people that break away from religion and stuff like that, but it is a very devout religion, and Tyria would basically be indoctrinated into being a member of the church. And again, Ophelia wouldn't see it that way. Ophelia would be like, no, you're taught the truth, and she's going to be taught like, you know, like a religion, you know, she's going to be taught the truth, and she's going to be filled with like love and acceptance and all this stuff. But really, on an out of game note, it is very much an indoctrination into it, basically, in the same way that Ophelia was as well.
Yeah.
I 100% understand where Ophelia's coming from as well with this.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm trying to argue against it.
Oh yeah,
because-
I know.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. So yes, she will feel rage, but she will be in control of it. You know, like how I fight. When you watch me fight, and you know, I let the rage boil up inside me, and it feels amazing. But I can control it. I can embed it within myself, but unleash it when I need to.
I understand, but it's not just rage with Tyria. Not to imply that it's just rage for you. It's grief, it's sadness, it's heartbreak, it's betrayal.
Yes.
That won't vanish.
No, but she will control it, and she will be treated well. It's not like she's going to be in servitude, or, you know, she will have, like what I have, a lavish life. She will be given wonderful things, and she won't... It's not like a prison. She's not going to be imprisoned. She will be allowed to roam, to do as she wills, but she will have control.
And companionship, because there would be other spirits.
And companionship.
But does it strike you as, and I'm trying not to be rude, Ophelia, an easy solve? Would you not, from the outside in, choose eternal rest and bliss over just acceptance?
Goodness, no! No, the reason I live the life I live, the way that I live, is because of the Grave Father. He has given me the gifts and the will to live how I want to pursue the arts, to be who I want to be, knowing that in the end, everything that I have done was for him, and that is my payment, that is my price to him.
Also, let me remind you that those of you who are from Ilmera have been taught that there is not an afterlife with bliss. Tyria's spirit, if you put it to rest, it would be reincarnated because she did not ascend. She was not worthy enough to ascend. So if you do lay her to rest here in Ilmera, your characters on a religious belief would believe that that meant her spirit would finally be allowed to reincarnate. So it is not like she's going to a blissful afterlife. She would be reborn as another living person here.
Is there a part of that belief in reincarnation? Is there an idea that, I know that the worthy ascend to beyond that, but is there an idea of like your previous life has some bearing on your next one, or you?
It is not necessarily. There are definitely parts of the church that teach that and use that as a way of like, you should be good because that will help you ascend in your next life.
Yeah.
But then the actual dogma and the actual like, you know, element of the religion is that when you are reborn, you forget everything, and everything you did is washed away. So if you are wrong in your life, you can be forgiven to then have another chance at it. The idea is that the good things you do will accumulate, but bad things are washed away.
Yeah.
You forget them.
I guess in that case, it's not worded in such a way that it's bliss as such. It's that it is eliminated. That is just gone. The terrible things that have happened to her.
Yeah, yeah, and like any things that she's did or anything like that as well. But yeah, just as a point for the world building, yeah, like there is no. It's not like going to heaven. Jesus sends you to heaven. It's not like that. It is you are reincarnated.
Yeah.
Whereas in Osseous, it is a very different belief. It's believed that if you die as a mortal, your soul is either turned into a spirit, and you serve the House of Shadows. Your body is turned into a body for the House of Bones or the House of Rot. And then sometimes, if you are worthy enough, your spirit joins the Grey Father in the Greylands, and you are made into some super special undead, basically. So it's a little bit different. They have a bit more of that like blissful afterlife. If you prove valuable, the Grey Father will take you to the Greylands, and then you get to be with the Grey Father forever. Unless you disappoint him, in which case he's like, prove yourself. Now get back.
I understand that her passing was not what she would have wanted. But I just don't want that to be the end for her. She is capable of so much.
But that's where we run into a little bit of a theological problem here, because in Elmira, and she's an Elmiran, we believe that if we put her soul at rest, she'll ascend and be reincarnated. But not expected to work, if you see what I mean.
But Tyrea would be gone. There would be no Tyrea anymore. Like, her soul persists, but the identity of Tyrea is wiped away.
And that would be a true rest. Peace. And, I appreciate what you've offered her, and it is very in keeping with your kind-heartedness and your beliefs in Osseous. And it sounds as though she's agreed and looking to that. But where I run into a bit of a wall with this is it true rest? Is it really what will make her happy? Or is she just so angry and twisted right now that she just wants to grow powerful enough to exact her revenge? And will that lead to more deaths and more misery?
Well, it'll probably lead to at least one death. Is that such a bad thing?
I won't lie. That one probably has something coming to him. He needs justice coming to him, whether or not that is an execution or a trial or, imprisoning or, making right his time. I could not say. I'm conflicted. I'm really conflicted. I'm looking at the new vows that I have to bring hope and comfort to those in need. And Tyrea needs hope and comfort. And I just don't know if a new life as a vengeful spirit is comfort.
As that question is posed, I imagine that you are walking back to the enticing devil.
Uh-oh.
Oh, not again.
What
Those
did you...
coal nuts.
Just the coal nuts this time? They were really spicy, aren't they? We don't have a toilet in the tavern.
Rowan dashing forward, the clear night sky having cleared up from earlier, and we see the crown kind of passing overhead, the night twinkling. We see the enticing devil, its kind of broken frame, the iron fence that surrounds the grounds, and as you walk past it, you can glimpse into the garden where you see just the blackened silhouette of the single apple tree and the various overgrown garden within there. And just a very pale blue figure up in the attic room, walking past the shutters, going about her business as if she was still mistress of the inn, Tyrea's spirit itself, making its way downstairs. As you guys approach the inn, Rowan rushing off.
I can't use the shrine.
Do not use the shrine!
There's a garden. There's the garden out the back.
I'm going around the back.
Yeah.
Please don't do it near the shrine, Rowan.
Use that bush that tried to attack Daisy.
I'm gonna use
Yeah,
mage
do
hand
that.
to dig a hole
Dig a little hole.
with mage hand.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just RP this out, shall we? Yeah.
Poop it out.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think say mage hand to throw over the fence.
Into the mage hand.
There is a sewer system here. You're probably part of like the, there's probably part of the tavern room that would have once been like an outhouse or like an outroom or something like that has like plumbing, but it's all broken, doesn't work. Need that fixed.
You know, it's really quite depressing that we're the heroes of Ash and Rest. And this is our
And you
comedy.
just hear through from the gun, ah! Oh God, silence!
We've just attended 2 nights of ducal balls and, been approached by royalty, and this is where we hang our hats.
No, that's true. I mean, we do have some amount of funds to restore the
We're gonna
place.
fix it. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna
There
fix
is
it.
that. And when it's restored, this place is going to be amazing. When it's
It will be
restored,
suitable for night gruff, because you'll be a
I
knight
don't.
by that point.
that's true.
Actually, no. I hope it is fixed before that, because that seems like
I don't know if I'm going to be a knight in 20 days or however long our next quest takes us. Sir Griot said it took him something like 2 years.
okay. I want it to be
Oh.
fixed when you're a knight errant then.
Also, that's only the first of your 3
And that's
tests.
only the first of 3.
Okay, I want it to be fixed way sooner than that.
Yeah.
There's no one listening. He doesn't
I listened because I wrote it.
say that.
What did I miss?
Oh yeah. No, I listened.
You weren't there.
I know.
Okay. We've got a lot to absorb.
A lot to absorb.
And what-
3 things to pick up. Ophelia, before we move on to my thing, really wish you'd communicate with the rest of the group about this whole Tyria thing.
Oh, you were so busy having a good time. I had work to do.
Yes, but
I didn't want you to get wound up with work stuff. Work, cursed work.
okay, sure. But this is happening tomorrow, and
Yes.
what will be the result of this thing tomorrow?
I don't know.
Will Tyria already have moved?
It might not even work.
Well, why don't we speak to her properly
You can, yes, well, by all means.
as a group and see what she wants to do and see how we can help her, but just actually talk to her about stuff tonight before.
Yes.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
I don't want to have to uninvite people. I've already invited people,
Well, you were going to have them over to the shrine anyway.
but I've nothing to show them.
You have a whole shrine. And
I was gonna do a
stories
whole
and teachings
thing.
from a wonderful distant place.
I'm going to roll a d8.
Okay.
5. So Tyria.
Yep.
Actually, everyone will be able to hear, because I'm gonna use my whispers ability to allow everyone to. You can all hear in your heads
call.
now.
Yeah.
It's a group call. Hi, team.
Oh, bloody hell.
Well, that's
Sorry,
close.
but
You're
it's-
very close. Oh, you're not even speaking.
It's
When-
the only way to get Tyria to be able to speak, because she should be able to speak, but she can't properly.
Oh,
so.
Tyria can hear us now?
There is also. Do you want Nim to make themselves aware? To make everyone else aware of Nim? Or do you want Nim to stay quiet?
Quiet for now.
Okay. Yep. So you feel this strange connection with Daisy as you hear Daisy's voice in your mind. I think you have to be able to see them, so you would have to
Yeah,
wait
so I'll
until
do it
Tyria
until
appears.
Tyria's
Yeah,
there,
Yeah.
and then I'll do that.
Yeah. So you all feel this kind of strange mental connection as you hear Daisy's voice in your mind, and then you would hear another voice. Hello again. And Tyria is just on the balcony,
I think
looking down,
Everyone's
the
freaked out.
scarred face,
Only
the
Ophelia's
tattered
hurt.
clothing. Yeah, only to Tyria's. And she's just staring down, looking at you all. And there's no expression because the mouth is so scarred up. But this very sweet, normal voice is just like, hello again.
this is Tyria.
Oh, this is Tyria?
Yes, Tyria can speak to us now. This is everybody else.
Daisy has given me the power to speak.
Ta-da!
Well, it
Group
is
call.
lovely to hear from you for the first time.
Yes,
Lanthea's.
Properly, I suppose. Well, this is strange.
It's nice.
It is nice to speak, to be heard.
Hello.
Sister, hello.
Hello.
The face just looks down. She drifts through the balcony floor and just floats down to sort of stand next to, like, almost right in front of Ophelia's face. There's a weird no boundary concept, but because the communication is all telepathic, it's like just a normal conversation.
Hello again.
Hello. How are you feeling about our discussion?
Yes. It was good.
Good.
Yes. I would like it. What you offered.
Yes?
A new life and power and strength. To be more.
Tyria, I only ask you this
Gruffith.
to be sure. Is this really what you want? Because it's not rest. Will it bring you comfort to have this anger still with you?
Comfort? What else? There would never be comfort. If you could make me reborn like the church teaches us, I would not be me anymore. Everything I suffered would be forgotten. The Scions didn't help me. The Scions let me become this. They let Kavon do those awful things to me. Sister Ophelia, she's promised me more than they ever did. I don't want comfort. I don't want rest. I'd never want to be hurt again. And if I'm reborn, I'll just be mortal. Another Kavon or someone else. Maybe they'll do to me what he did all over again. I can't bear that. But nobody could hurt me again. If what Sister Ophelia said was true.
It is true.
I mean, you can't really argue that. If that is truly what you wish for, not just to hold on to what has happened to you, but to hold on to who you are, then we can't get in the way of those wishes.
What if I'm reborn as someone weak? What if I'm reborn as a soldier who has to go to war and suffer and die? I am angry, and I hate Kavon, and I hate the guards for not helping, for not believing, I hate the Scions, and there's so much hate. But I'm afraid if I'm reborn, I'd rather be like this. Learn control, find a family, a home, than face the unknown of rebirth. I'll never ascend. I will never be enough.
I mean, it's just a question of how religious is
Religion is a whole thing.
I think, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, of all the campaigns we've done, I'm actually finding role-playing religion the hardest, thing.
Because this is the thing, is when we've done other campaigns, the gods were very real, they were very nice, there was an afterlife, there were all these things.
Fake titans.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's the same for
But even
Ophelia,
then,
right? Like, it's so ingrained into who you are,
well, that's
whereas
it.
what
Ophelia has faith regardless. Rhiannon knows the Greyfather is not all good, that the teachings of that religion are not necessarily good things, but Ophelia is like, nope, they are good and I believe in them.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do, to have faith in something when you, as a player, know that, like, these aren't necessarily good things. Like, and that's the interesting point.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like...
And it creates these interesting moments, because this might be a point where Gruff is like, oh God, yeah, like, how... this is a hard thing to, like,
That's
feel.
where I am, because, like, Gruff is obviously pious. He grew up believing in the Scions and Saints. He's done all the truth. But he's not committed to it. It was just what he grew up with.
Yeah.
It was the thing you did on a,
Yeah, I was
not
gonna
on a
say,
Sunday,
like-
but, like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
So I was gonna say, if Gruff was like really committed and
Fundamental,
devoted,
like, yeah.
I'd be like, well, yeah,
This
of
is-
course, being
yeah.
reborn is better, and it would almost be like, well, yeah, it is. You know, there is a scary thing to it, but Gruff would believe that it's the right thing to do, because he probably would believe, like, no, you can be worthy, Tyria, like you can do it, blah blah blah. But if Gruff's having those
not.
doubts, exactly,
And
that's
yeah,
where it's like,
Especially recently.
with
Oh,
with
God,
Ophelia
yeah.
dying and the way they spoke about her and all of this, like, you know, everything that's happened, devils roaming the streets, you know, all of this, like, he's not convinced in us. He was never. I know we say he's pious, but he was never like.
it's traditional.
This, yeah, it's just what you grew up with.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you went to
tradition.
Sunday school. It was, you know, you sang the songs, like, but whether he actually believed, like, you know, and
Yeah.
then all of that's happened recently. I don't think he has that conviction to fight back and be like, no, you're both wrong. Like, you know, the Scions and Saints is what we believe in, and you should be aspiring to that. Like, I don't think he genuinely believes that. Like,
It's great. It's great stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Is like, would we as Ilmerans just
You choose
like
that. Like, I think everybody would have had the same experience, right? Like, you can choose as your players, like, how much, like, traditionally, most of your places that you grew up would have taught you the religion. Like as if you went to, like, a Catholic primary school or something like that. You would have been taught a lot of this stuff. Whether you choose to believe it is your character's choice. Like, your characters have all seen and experienced things that might make them think, well, not sure I really am okay, like, nah, so much. Now, I will say that there is a little bit of bias here, because obviously you guys have seen mostly some negative stuff with the Lamplighters and stuff like that. Not everywhere is like that. There are very good beliefs in the Church of the Scions. There are, like, it genuinely is like, no matter what you do, you can be worthy. If you're a good person and you prove yourself, you can ascend and become like a divine saint, and then you have power and you can help everybody and do all this cool stuff. But also, like, it's, you know, there are figures that you can look up to. There are the songs, the teachings, be kind to each other. But then there are elements where it's just like, well, what is worthiness? Somebody's like, if you kill a shitload of people and are the best warlord ever, worthy!
yeah.
Not necessarily a good thing, right? Like,
because a lot of people view it as just you won the soul lottery.
yeah.
I mean, we've also
absolutely.
got proof right in front of us that our power is not the only power.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
that
yeah,
has
but,
ability.
and this is the other thing, and again, it's slightly twisted. Yes, the Greyfather brought Ophelia back. Remember what he made her go through to do it?
Well, we don't
And
know
also, yeah, exactly. But also, like, it's not necessarily a great relationship. It's very much a, you are my servant, do what I tell you. And Ophelia's just like, yes, absolutely, me believe wholeheartedly. But, like, it's not necessarily a good thing. Remember, he's not a god. He's a planar power. He is a being of divine magic, but it does not make him a god.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and
Yeah.
he's not necessarily kind. He's a father, a very stern father.
I don't like those.
I think, yeah, just to be clear as well, like, you know, it
a cool
absolutely
conversation, though.
is Tyria's choice.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
I think
that
I'm
if-
just trying to figure out, like,
Yeah, I'm just.
as-
We just need to
as-
hear the words from her.
Yeah.
Well, but also,
like
but
that.
keep in mind, the only person who's trying to convince her has been Ophelia. So she's currently Team
Yeah.
Ophelia. You rolled really high. Nobody's really countered that with, like, a big argument. So
Yeah.
she's just like, yeah, that one. I want that.
yeah, I mean, no, I was
But if
tempted
somebody
to,
went, yeah, but what about option B, and made a good case, she might be like,
And I think
don't
that's
know.
the thing is, even though Gruff is
The person.
religious,
Yeah.
he's not. His wavering in what
Yeah.
he's learned.
I think that's great.
Has
Yeah.
not put him in a place where he's confident he could actually really,
Yeah.
like what she's just said.
He's like,
if
fuck
anything,
yeah.
is turning him because he's like.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, you know, you do have a shot of redemption, but then she said, I'm never going to ascend anyway. It's like, oh, you've considered that. Okay,
Because that's
cool.
also a big question as well of like, well, why didn't the Scions and Saints stop have one from hurting me.
Yeah.
Like, and that is the big thing, right? In any religion, is if God is omnipotent, why do bad things happen?
Yeah.
And why have bad things happened to me?
Hey, what does Rowan believe?
Trot's just like, whoa.
I'm trying to think from Rowan's perspective. But at the moment, he's conflicted by Tyria cursing him, so he doesn't really want to engage that much with Tyria.
He's afraid of Tyria.
He still wants what's best for everyone, including Tyria, but he thinks there's more stronger opinions that need to be heard first, and that is Gruff's and Ophelia's.
I've always got the impression as well, and obviously I don't, you can change if this isn't true with Rowan, but Rowan grew up in quite a nomadic, not a nomadic, but like a traditional, a culture, a family that moved around a lot. And I've always felt that in Azar, the Church of the Suns and States isn't, that it's strong, but it's not as strong as, like, say, Iceheart or Caldra. And actually, because there's quite a lot of Jotnir in the Azar Steppe, some of the giant beliefs kind of, like, filter in. So, like, you've probably had this, like, well, I've learned that stuff because they made me, but also my great-grandmother, who was a Jotnir, told me about the stars and, like, all what the giants will believe and stuff like that.
A lot of conflicting things. So I don't really know why.
The giants, by the way, believe in people that live in the stars. They think that the constellations are the imprint of people that live in the stars, and that they control everything. The giants believe that basically the star people control everything, and that the constellations are like there's like the Shield Maiden, the warrior, the tracker, and they've got these figures that are like these personifications that they worship.
I want to believe in that.
What about the star people?
They do have a different name, but yeah, I like the idea that Rowan would call them the Star People, because it would be like
getting the star people.
Yeah, it'd be like stories that great-grandma Jotnir told you and stuff like that. Your great-great-grandma who was also half giant and stuff like that. But yeah, well,
I was so ready for that to turn into the most like poignant and beautiful speech.
what if Tyria goes into the stars, becomes stardust? Right, well, I think that's a good point on that nice philosophical discussion to end the episode and leave that sort of hanging in the air, where it seems like the party's like, well, we've heard Tyria seems to want this. Doesn't sound like there's a strong argument against it.
We're conflicted inwardly now.
It was just trying to figure out how actually would Xanthias, or even I suppose the most pious of us.
Well, why don't we have a think about it, and then we can come back to it next week?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Have a think about it. Think what your character would feel. With that, we are going to end the episode there, and we will see you for the next episode of Altheya the Dragon Empire. Got some questies. Figure out those questies.
Hell yeah.
Arc.
Bye.
Nice. See you next time.